Life's a ride, so let's make it count. Cherish every moment, that's what it's about. Tune in together, we're building our groove. Every beat, every laugh, we're ready to move. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave the troubles behind. This podcast is gold, the treasure you'll find. With every word, we'll light up your day. Join the conversation, let's laugh all the way. A little laughter, some love, we're soaring high. Every single episode reaching for the sky. News on the airwaves, spreading good vibes. Friends together, watch how our spirits rise. Kick back, unwind, leave your troubles behind. This podcast is gold, a treasure you'll find.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And how are ya? Good morning, Miss Doodle. Arctic is in the house again. Good morning. How are you, Doodle?
I'm good.
Morning.
Mornin, however you want to say it. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are, whatever it is. I hope it's good for you because it's great for me to be here with you. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for joining me. And now I have to step aside because my dogs are going nuts. I'll be right back. Jeez, it's first thing in the morning. I hate it.
That's funny. Get it, Milo. How'd you sleep, Arctic?
Not too bad.
Good, good. Good morning, chat. What do y'all got planned for today?
A little thump and they go, sorry about that. They hear a little thump and they go insane. A truck went by. I think that's what it was. So anyway, how are you this morning, Miss Doodle? Again, I think it's just that.
I'm good. Yeah.
Good,
I'm
good.
Up and ready to go today.
So enough. And Mr. Arctic Fox, how are you today, my friend?
Oh, doing all right. How are you?
Living the dream, hoping somebody will wake me up. You know how that goes. Hope everybody had a great Halloween last night. Sorry I wasn't back, but, well, the grandchildren have demands, and when you don't follow through with those demands, it don't work out.
Yeah, so tell me about it. Trick-or-treating last night was a grandchild demand.
And then, yes, that happened last night. She stayed here last night. She's here today. But my mother-in-law is here, so we have some help. I can do this. Anyway, so yeah, she decided after all that she was going to, she got Nini, which is Brandy, my wife, to go outside on the porch with her at about, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. They were going to bring or what's the word she used? She knows these big words too. She was going to, my wife does crafts, and she's been taking these toilet paper rolls, the little cardboard thing, and you put hot glue around the edges of them, and then you paint it, and it looks like a candle. You put like a little tea light thing on top of it, and it looks like a candle.
Yeah, I've seen that done with pool noodles. So yeah,
Right.
I know what you're
Same
talking
thing.
about.
Yeah. So anyway, Junie took one that my wife had made, and she colored it in with a black marker around the glue, and it looks like truly the black flame candle from Hocus Pocus.
Oh wow.
So she decided once that happened that she was going to take the candle outside on the porch with Nini, and I had to be there for a minute. And she used a word that I would never expect her to use, but it's in not induce or incite or anything like that's another word. But she was bringing the Sanderson sisters back with this candle she lit. Okay,
Oh Lord.
Yes.
That's great.
Oh, she was invoking the spirit.
Invoking. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. And she said it. She goes, Papa, Nini, I'm going to invoke the Sanderson sisters and bring them back tonight. And we're both looking at each other going, does this child watch too much TV or what's going on? But okay. So she lit the little tea light thing and she did something that they say in the movie. And the candle blew out because it was windy last night. And she had a stroke. Like flipped her mind as soon as that candle blew out. It was windy as hell last night here.
That's adorable.
She was like, it blew out. She starts looking around. She's like, they're coming. And we're both sitting there. I'm going, okay. And my wife, being the child that she is inside, she was like, wait, I hear something. And they both took off down the back. You couldn't see the moon last night for nothing. It was so overcast here. She's like, the moon's gone. Oh no. And my granddaughter's imagination completely left and took off running. And she's like, it's because of them. This and that. And this went on for like 2 hours, you guys. I couldn't get this child to settle down for my life. I was trying to get her to maybe calm down, go to sleep, and then I would come in here and do something, no, it didn't happen. So that's what we did last night. After we watched Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, Monster House, and then she wanted to watch the original Halloween from 1978, the John Carpenter one. And I was like, my wife was already sleeping by this point, and I'm going, she loves the music. So do I. That's my favorite movie ever. And I think I was praying to God, and this was probably 11:30, 45 by this time. And I turned it on, and I'm like, are you sure you can handle this? I mean, it doesn't show any gore or anything, but the ideals are there of what's going on. And she said, no, I'm good, Papa. She's watched, I guess her mother, who's not the greatest person, but has allowed her to watch it and some other American Werewolf in London. And there's pretty nasty gore stuff in that, but it's like, okay, she's going to be 8. And I've always instilled in all these kids that this is all make believe. It's not real. There's nothing about this that's real. This is all makeup and this and that. So they understood this isn't real, but it's still some pretty crazy stuff to watch sometimes. So anyway, she starts watching. She gets through the music, and it shows little Michael running around with his little clown mask on. And right at the point where he goes to stab Judith, his sister, I look over, she's out, and I went, thank God. So, but at that point in time, it was like midnight, almost 12:50. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing this tonight. So, and then I shortly thereafter must have fallen asleep because I woke up about 4, sitting on the couch again in the corner that I sit on with my head back like this, sucking in bugs or whatever the hell's flying around my face. Who knows? Not that there was. It was a joke, but just saying. So that's what my night consisted of. Otherwise, I would have been in here. But today is Friday, so we will be in here tonight with some paranormal stuff to make up for last night. So,
well, I kind of have a little story too because
right,
with Preston and him being so literal, it's always fun with outings, and it's really hard when you're raising a Karen because this Karen makes everyone mad around you. And I'm like, oh, Preston, come on.
it happens.
But it was so funny because we came home early because he was concerned for me because the very last house, he could tell that there was something wrong with that guy. He may be on drugs, and and Mama must be slipping because why would you take me here? And I'm like, oh my God,
Oh boy,
yeah. So it was so fun, and he said that very loudly and all the way to the car.
He said that out loud.
Oh yes. See, that's it. There's no filter.
Oh
With
boy.
high functioning autism, it's straight literal.
Oh, yeah.
Hits the brain comes out the mouth, and I'm like, "Oh my god."
Was there
Yeah,
anybody else around when he said it?
everybody, kids everywhere. I mean, crowds, and I'm like, "Oh, sweet Jesus, help me."
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've been
Oh,
through it before with Caden, I get it, but still.
it just kept getting better, and I was like, "How about we just go to the store and we just go buy a big bag of candy and it's safe?" And he says, "Well, where's the fun of that? It's Halloween." And I'm thinking, "Okay, so now I'm bad mama. I don't know what to do to fix this."
There's nothing
Yeah.
you can do except let it be what it is and try to make him
Yeah.
understand it takes a long time to get through that.
Oh,
You can't just express everything you think and feel, son, because we went through this with him before. Like
oh, it was a mess.
the first time Caden was ever like my wife's best friend is a black girl. They've been friends since they were in kindergarten. They've known each other forever, and she's got 3 children. And Caden, when the first time he was actually introduced to them and he could speak and play with them and this and that, her kids, one of them was close to his age, and he was standing in the living room. We were at her house and said, "Mom, why is Mikey brown?" And we all went, uh,
Yeah, they just come off with the
um,
craziest stuff, but, I mean, they're
Nikki,
just curious, and I know that. It's just
right? It's all it was. It was, and Nikki started laughing her ass off. She goes, "Well, actually, he's caramel color because he's light skinned. His father is a white guy, so on and so forth." And she was like, "He's actually caramel colored." Okay, Kate. So then I said, "Nikki, don't do that." Now he's like wondering what the hell caramel color is and blah blah blah. And anyway, it took a while to get this understanding through him. And then when he understood what Asian people, how their eyes were a little different looking than ours, why is this and that? We've been through all of this again and again, again and again. It's very literal, like you said. That's why the first time you ever said that to me about the being literal, I said, "Oh God, you're going through it too." Yes, it's a
oh,
thing.
yeah, it was so funny how he was so concerned for me because why would you bring me to this house? I mean, come
What is
on,
wrong with
mama.
you?
You
Right.
why are you taking me here? You know, this guy looks like he's on drugs. I mean, are you okay, mama?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm like,
Shame,
"Oh, man."
shame on you, Doodle.
I
Shame on
know.
you.
God, I know.
That's a trip. But it's an interesting experience. It's been an experience the past 18 years with this child here. I'm telling you guys. I raised 6 other kids. Okay. The oldest is 31 now. Never in my life did I experience anything like what I've experienced with Caden. It's nothing that you'll ever imagine. I mean, unless you have a child like this. I mean, Brandy, she's been through, things with Matthew, this and that, everything else. You've gone through things with Preston. Miss Sherry's been through things with her grandson. Everybody has a different experience with these children. And it's just like you don't.
Yes, and I love it. I would redo
It
this
is, yeah,
every time over and over. I would redo this. This is the best time of my life. He keeps me on my
absolutely.
toes, and I look at him and think, "You're gonna make it, buddy. You're gonna make it."
Absolutely. And they get it. They get it. Like Caden took, I think it was about 4 years ago when he finally understood sarcasm. And it was hilarious because one day we said something to him in a sarcastic way, and he looked at us for a minute and went, That's not right. And I said, Bud. And then he went, "Oh." And I went, "What now? Did you fart or something?" Because it was one of them, right? And he goes, "No, I get it." And I went, "You get what?" I was scared at that point. And he was like, "You were doing like making a joke, but not really a joke, kind of being not real, but real." But I'm like, "Slow down, kid. It's called sarcasm." And he went, "Yeah."
That's so funny.
It took that long, but he gets it. But now he's one of the most sarcastic. You guys have heard him. He's one of the most sarcastic kids there are. So,
Yeah,
it
well,
works its
Preston
way
this
out.
morning called me Sherlock, and he's never done that. I was like, "Come on, grab your coat, it's chilly," and he's like, "Okay, Sherlock." I was like, "Are you being a smart aleck because you know it's cold,
Oh,
or?" And he says, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Uh-huh, you better pipe that crap down." Oh, it was funny.
let him go,
Oh,
because when he does that,
I
it'll
know.
it'll he'll realize then that what that means
Uh-huh.
is it's okay not to be, but watch it though, because
I know.
this one here,
I'm
you've heard
warning
some of
you.
the stuff this one has said to me, and it's like, what did you just say to me? Did you
I
forget that I'm
know.
the adult? You know?
I know. And see, that's
Yeah,
part of this with being so literal is how you speak to a child with autism, high functioning autism is how they speak to you.
of
So
course.
be ready because whatever you dish out, you're definitely getting back.
Of course. We never talk to him like a baby. We don't do it with any of the grandkids. We never did it with any of our kids. We don't do baby talk. We talk to them like we would talk to anybody because we don't want them doing baby talk. And it's always been, like you're having a conversation with a 30-year-old. So yeah, well, I mean, Brady's been through it. She's been fired by her child multiple times.
That's adorable.
That to me, I lost a grip on life when she was like, yeah, he fired me because he didn't get his way. And I went, he did what? He fired her. You're fired. And I was like, oh my God. And he's low functioning, Matthew, he's very smart, but he's not as verbal as like Caden and Preston are, but still, to
It's
fire
like
your parents.
Bad apprentice.
Yes, that it was just too much. And he has his own name for her. When he gets pissed off at her, he calls her a Lumuk. What the hell is a Lumuk? Nobody knows.
Whatever it is, don't be a Lumuk because you get fired.
Yeah, Matthew knows what it is. It's hilarious, though. I love it. Absolutely. We started calling her a Lumuk in here whenever we felt like it, too, just because. Oh, my God. Hold on, guys. I'm going to kill these dogs. I'm telling you.
I have to say, though, even with prices changing like this, Preston was so upset that he's like, I hardly got any candy at all. I was like, buddy, it's hard for anybody to make it right now. Just be happy with what you got. I mean, come on.
Look, I turned my lights on, my carport and my porch light on as soon as it got dark. And I kept that stuff on until 8 o'clock at night, a little after 8, because I figured, by then what kids are going to show up are going to show up. I only had 3 groups of kids show up to my house.
Oh, wow. Huh.
I mean, it's disappointing, and that's why some years I won't even bother turning the light on because I'm like, if I'm not even going to have any kids, and I knew it was going to be that way because they were having a trunk or treat down on Main Street, and I was like, well,
Oh,
shit.
yep. Right, yep. Well, this one lady, it was a great idea. She handed out the freeze pops, the little popsicles they could just go home and put in the freezer because I think they're like 100 of them for like $5 or $6. So she was giving everyone one of those, and I thought that's genius. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cheaper, too. It's a hell of a lot cheaper because candy ain't cheap at all.
Yeah, see, I don't do the full size candy bars, but I give like an entire handful of candy out to the kids when they show up. And I was ready for, have maybe 20 because that's about what I had last year. But to have like 3 groups show up and that's it, I was very disappointed.
I
We
did
don't.
see 4 young girls dressed as the Golden Girls, and I thought that was the cutest thing, and you could tell Sophia because she had this big wicker purse, and that was where she was putting the candy. It was adorable. I thought, "Wow, Golden Girls."
That is awesome. I'm surprised these kids even know what the Golden Girls are.
Right, I was so surprised. I was like, "Wait a minute, that's the Golden Girls," and these are like 10, 11-year-old girls, and they were just having a good time, had a walker, one had an umbrella, using it for a cane. It was so cute. I thought, "Wow, okay."
They sell the T-shirts at Walmart and at like Hot Topics, and my couple of my older kids have Golden Girls T-shirts, and they're like a thing. So it
Wow.
must be a thing. I don't know. Cassie's kids were adorable. I don't know if you saw the hungry caterpillar that Liberty was,
Oh,
and
yes, they are so cute. My god, they're adorable.
and the little Minecraft thing. I love seeing the pictures. We don't get any trick-or-treaters out here. None. My wife pisses her off every year. None, not one. We have to go into the city to our friend's house to take the kids trick-or-treating, and then she gets candy and she sits here, or one of us will, and we wait. Nothing this year. Last year we had 3 kids that came out of one car because we live in such a rural area that they don't just walk along. But when I was a kid, I kind of lived in a rural area for part of my life then too. We would just go in a car and go. They'd stop every 15, 20 yards, and we'd get out, groups of us, and we'd go to 2 or 3 houses, get back in the car, drive up the road some more. They don't do that.
I live in a rural area, but it's not like I'm 50 miles from my nearest Walmart. I've got neighbors around me. I thought I would have some kids maybe because I noticed that, there have been some kids moving to the neighborhood. So I decided to go get candy. Nope. I didn't have hardly anyone show up.
It's kind of disheartening. I love watching the kids, so that's why we go. It's about 4 minutes up the road to my friend's house that lives in city, and we'll sit on their porch and give out candy, and then the other ones go trick or treating or whatever. because I love seeing the costumes. It's a blast for me. So
Yeah, and some kids really get into their character. Like for me, my grandson, when he gets into character, he is that character until that costume comes off. And we're talking all the way. Seriousness, hero landings the whole time. He is the character.
absolutely, you could see it in the picture in his face. His face had that look about like, "Don't mess with me, I'm Thor," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"You're so serious."
I
Caden was
know, I know.
Caden was the same way. He did Batman one year, and he walked around the entire day, and the next day he put the mask on because he had the good mask, at that time, and he was like, "I'm Batman," and his voice changed completely, and I'm like, "Dude, you don't have to do it anymore. We're good now."
Right, right. I'm just thankful he wasn't Monopoly Man like he originally wanted to be, because he would have danced around everywhere.
That's hilarious, though. What child thinks of being the Monopoly Man for
I
Halloween?
know. I've never even seen a kid with even that idea of let's be the Monopoly Man, but he
That
was
is
all
so
about it.
right. That is
That
so.
had to have been adorable, though.
It's creative as all hell. It is
He's
absolutely,
the oddball. He loves all this weird stuff like me, and I'm like, okay, let's roll with it. Whatever you want to be.
absolutely, absolutely. Nothing at all wrong with that at all. Speaking of, real quick, I gotta see who we got in here. I didn't done that yet. Miss Cassie, I thought you weren't feeling good. It's good to see you. I hope you're feeling better. Stormy Sherry, welcome back to you. SRB, great to see you. SR, BBBBB. Elizabeth Wagner, welcome to you. Kaylee Ann Staniford, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Miss Sherry's in the house today. I'm glad you're feeling good enough to be here. Welcome back. Wisdom Speaks. Great to see you today. Faithful Mom Cheryl, always a pleasure. Wonderful to have you here today. And Stitches in the house. What's going on? Good to see you this morning. Thank you for joining us. Of course, Arctic Fox sitting up here with me and Miss Doodle. Wonderful to have you here as well, my friend. As always, let's see. Brady B, the OG in the house. Good to see you, Miss Brady. Thank you for joining us. Mystic Butterfly, always a pleasure. Good to see you. Chris Gideon, same to you. Teresa S., welcome back to you. Great to see you today, all of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Mecky Techie's in the house. Thank you for joining us, Mecky. Great to have you here. Great to see you. Got a story for you guys for that, too. Oh, Lord, what a dork I am. It tells you how technically challenged I am. Let's see. Leslie and Billy, welcome back to you. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday today. Thank you for joining us. TGIF, everybody. It is November 1st. 22 more days, and I'm 50 years old. How about that? Yay. Exotic Prairie, welcome back to you. Great to see you today. Squishy Bum, all the way. Took a flight over the pond just to join us this morning. We appreciate you so very much. Miss Taylor's in the house. Good to see you, Miss Taylor. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Hope you're having a great day. Nobody's ever late. You just come in after others. I don't ever call it late. Let's see. I think I got everybody so far. Thank you so much, Stormy. I appreciate that very much.
I think you muted by accident, Dago.
No, Caden walked up behind me and said something to
Oh,
me.
okay. Hi,
Sorry.
Caden.
You know how that goes. Yeah, the big 50 in 22 days. 22 days, Mecky. 22. The 23rd is my birthday. Thank you, Doodle, for that. And anybody that has not yet, if you want to be part of this amazing meatball family and jump into sauce with the rest of us, click on this link right here. Become a meatball, jump into sauce, and help us come in here and spill some sauce every day like we do. You are so very much appreciated for that. And thank you, Doodle, for that again. Let's see. Yeah, it is cold here today, too. It was warm. It was like 75 yesterday, and it's like 40 today. So who knows what's going on.
And it's crazy because yesterday Preston could wear shorts and be fine. And now today it's like sweatpants and a big sweatshirt. It's crazy.
Yep. Ohio is bipolar. The weather is completely bipolar. It always has been. It could be 100 degrees here today and tomorrow snow. And the next day it could be rainy and then 100 degrees again. It's just, you don't know. You don't know. So last night I was trying to get into the Discord on my phone. I don't do that often. And leave a message about what was going on. And I clicked on something. I don't even know what the hell I clicked on. I think Mecky was in there. And I ended up in a group chat type thing. And they were watching a movie. It's Halloween. So they were watching The Fly, I think it was. And it was the scene where I think it's Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum are kind of making out. And I clicked right in that point, and I'm sitting there and I went, uh, and it was an accident. I was trying to figure out how to get out of there. I didn't
Sure
mean
it
to be in
was.
there.
Sure it was.
Yeah. And I was like, and who else was in there? It was Mecky. Shoot. Who else was in there, Mecky? Damn it. I can't think right now because it was like a whole screw up mistake. I couldn't think of course they invited me in there, but I was like, no, I didn't mean to jump in. I'm so sorry, that kind of thing. And one of them even commented like, oh, he jumped in at the right time because it looked almost like when you first look at it, like you were jumping into like a porn scene or something, And I was like, what the hell am I watching for a minute? And I figured out when I saw his face what it was because I've seen that movie I don't know how many times, but I can't think of who else was in there.
That's funny shit. That is so funny. I could see your eyes like, oh no.
That's kind of what I did. I'm holding the phone, and I went to click to get out of something, and I was just, I'm not good with Discord at all. And I hit the button and I went, and you could hear the moaning between the two of them. And I'm like, what did I just do? And I look around and I seen a couple other people, and I knew Necky was in there, was one of them, and a couple other people. I can't think of who it was. And I was just like, okay. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to interrupt, And they were like, no, it's not what you think it is, so on and so forth. And I figured out what it was. It's a great movie, by the way. Jeff Goldblum did an amazing job, and I've always had a thing for Gina Davis, so it's one of them things. But there was a couple other people in it. They were watching a movie through the Discord, which is we do that too. It's really cool. But I don't know how I ended up in there, what I clicked, what I did, and I just felt so stupid trying to get out of there. It was crazy. But either way, it was quite an interesting scenario. Discord is still not my thing. Miss Kaylee and Stafford, welcome to the sauce. I appreciate you. We got another meatball in the house, folks. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you for becoming part of this awesome family. We appreciate you so very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yes, Miss Elizabeth, thank you. Let's see. Kansas is that way. Right. Exotic Prairie, good to see you. So yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that all the different parts of Discord. I just felt so stupid last night. They're like, you're welcome to be here. And no, thank you very much. I was actually trying to put a message into another part of it to tell people what was going on. And I ended up in there. So I think I finally figured out how to put the message. I think I was trying to get back to you, Doodle.
Yeah, probably when I was asking if you were
right.
live, because it's so weird to me that I missed it. Like I missed a show, and I was like, maybe he'll go live. So I don't miss both. I for sure didn't want to miss both, but
I was trying.
Yeah, I get it. Listen, kids come first always.
Yes, I was trying, but this child was like, nope, no way. It's Halloween. You're doing what I want to do, and I'm like, okay. Mikey, welcome. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're having a good day. And thank you for joining us. Let's see. It's great to see Miss Sherry back in here. I hope you're feeling better, Miss Sherry. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, guys, if you want to join and you have an iPhone and you struggle with it, that link right there is the best way to do it. Thank you, Miss SRBBB. You are appreciated. Thank you, Miss Cass. Mystic Butterfly, wonderful to see you again. If I didn't say it, we got 33 peeps in here, 22 likes. We're almost there, guys. Let's make that happen if we can. Please and thank you. Let's see.
I spoke with Miss Barb last night in Matahari, and they're working on that channel. So guys, be ready when it comes out. I'm not for sure exactly when it'll be ready, but as soon as it is, I'm so excited for her. Both of them.
Yes.
It is so much more. It's so much more than just a channel. It is going to be a nonprofit, and it's going to end up helping so many people.
Yeah,
and
I didn't know if I could say that or not, so I hushed about that part.
Yeah, I'm so honored to be a part of it with them, and I look forward to seeing what happens with it.
Yeah, I was telling her it's going to be great. I'm telling you, Barb's doing wonderful things.
Of course. I was just getting ready to say that. They asked me yesterday if I would want to be on the board for. I said, "Oh my God, it's an honor to even think about, even that you
I
thought of me.
know.
It's
Yep.
amazing to me." So I am completely moved for that, and it's amazing to me. I can't wait to see what comes from it. I think it's going to be big things. I really think it's going to be big things, knowing how Barb is and Matahari at the same time. I think they're going to do some really wonderful things to help people. I really do.
Absolutely. I agree. And now they have Arctic as the brains of the bunch. So yes,
Well, of
absolutely.
course,
I
of
mean,
course.
that's why I told him, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to work out perfect.
Absolutely. I don't know what I'm gonna do other than sit on the end of the table there and look not pretty, but I'll be anything I can be. Anything I can be and do, I will be there for it.
That's
So
what I told him. I was like, if I can help in any way, you just holler and I'll do it,
100%. I'm super proud of Barb for jumping into this as well with everything she's been through. I'm beyond proud of her for doing this. And Matahari, I'm grateful that she has hooked up with Barb like she has.
Yes, yes.
You
Those
know,
two are going to be a
Absolutely.
listen, I wouldn't want to fool with either one of them.
mm, no, I think it's going to be an amazing thing. Like, with everybody involved, all jokes aside, putting Arctic in there, I am wonderfully happy to be involved in something like that. Um, Arctic being involved in it, is kind of the brains, like you said. I mean,
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
you can't go wrong. Not at all.
No, not at all. And I'm just, this is great. It's something to look forward to. It's great things.
Yeah. Arctic does amazing things. He's got a good business sense, meaning he should, with everything he handles and does. So it's just gonna be awesome. And I am grateful and honored, like I said, to be a part of it. Even if it's just a small part, I'm there for it. I really am.
Absolutely. Me too.
Who else? I don't know who else is involved, Arctic, as far as just you, me,
So
you.
far, that's all I know. I know that they asked me the day before they asked you. Matahari sent me a text message and asked if I would be on the board of directors. Obviously, I said yes, I'd be completely honored. And
Of
then
course.
that next morning, I saw where they asked you. As far as I'm aware, I don't know who else is involved in it.
I'm pretty sure they want to ask mom
Oh
if she
yeah,
wants to be a part. Stuff like that. Just kind of like our group of people that they have grown to know and trust.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's gonna be an amazing thing. I really, really cannot wait for it. I cannot wait. Um So excited. Like I said, I'm super excited because I think this is good for Barb. It's going to give her, not that she doesn't have it now, but it's going to give her more direction to focus everything she's got going on inside on
Yep.
something and pushing forward with it. And it's just going to give her more of a reason to do what she does already so amazing.
Yep.
Speaking of,
Hi,
welcome
Matahari.
Matahari. There she is, right? There's Matahari there. Welcome, good morning, and thank you for joining us. Appreciate you very much. Um, I want to say thank you again, Matahari. We were just talking about that for asking me or even thinking about me to join um, the group, the channel that you're putting together, the organization, I guess it's going to be at some point, and be part of that, Matahari. That means everything to me. It really hit me and pulled on my heartstrings that you even thought of me. So thank you so much once again for that. I'm completely honored to be part of that with you guys. It's going to be an amazing thing. So, um, you're absolutely. I just wondered if anybody else was going to be involved. It's only a question I asked Matahari. Real quick, let me. Miss Kaylee just dropped I don't know how to read what that is. It's a
10-pound super sticker.
10 pounds. That's it. Super sticker. Thank you so much. And it looks like it's a little pear saying #1 fan. That's awesome, Kaylee. Thank you so much. God bless. That's awesome. Excuse me. Absolutely awesome. Was there who else is going to be involved in that? Is what my question was, Matahari. If you're comfortable talking about it, of course. Yes, thank you so much. That means everything. Really does. It's amazing.
I think they kind of have a list, but I don't know if they really want to say who yet in case they don't want to make someone feel bad if they can't or they don't want to. So I think as
Okay, no, that's
right
fine.
now they
I
kind
didn't
of
think of it.
ask people first, and then if they agree, then they'll kind of bring them up. That way, no one's kind of feeling like someone's letting anybody down.
Okay, she says that they're looking for an 11-member board. It will be mostly channels that have. Okay, that makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. That's awesome. Thank you again. Absolutely, Matahari. I didn't think of what you said, Doodle. I'm sorry. I don't
We'll be
think
there. I'm hitting all kinds of buttons over here.
it's all good. It's all good. So welcome, guys. Again, 33 people, 24 likes. You guys are amazing. Thank you for joining us today We always appreciate you for being here. And I got to get with Molly. Gonna see if Molly can put together an avatar for Arctic. I want to change this up a little bit. He's here with us every single day, and I'm gonna start putting his name in here. I'd like to get an avatar for him made as well. I think that would be really cool. So if you see Molly, let her know I'm looking for her, please.
Okay.
She's really good at these avatars. I think they're amazing. I can't wait to see what
Oh,
she would
she
do with
is
Arctic.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. They're so like the other one that she did for Doodle. I'm telling you, like they're really close to who we look like. And Mama Bear's is like, forget it. That's almost perfect to me. So, let's see. I'm not even going to touch this today with the weather thing. All they're saying is now he's calling it Hurricane Patty, and it's talking about life-threatening flooding. So it's still brewing. It hasn't come close to us yet, but we've had storms over the past few days in different parts of the U.S., guys, and it's just the storm season needs to end. That's all I'm saying. It needs to end. It's crazy already. Welcome, Robert Bell. Good to see you. The first thing I'm going to jump on today is coming off as a live stream through Fox.
I don't know what type of coffee creamer everyone uses, Dago, but I sent you something in Discord. There's been a big coffee creamer recall.
Oh shit!
You know, that's odd you say that, Arctic, because I got some from Walmart. It was that pecan pie whipped stuff, and it made me sick. Like I think
International Delight.
I don't know, but it made me sick. So I just went to now like this last week. It's only been black coffee.
I use powdered creamer. I use the cheap. I go to the dollar store for mine now.
Ooh, that's a good creamer too. That tastes really good. That kind.
I think my wife. This is shit. Let me look real quick. Damn it! Hold on.
Oh, that does look kind of like the stuff I had. I do too. I used to, Cassie, the kind from Save a Lot, just like a blue French vanilla.
Nope. Luckily, my wife has the Coffee Mate. I think it is, but she has used the International Delight before.
See, and that's what we usually use. Fortunately, I don't drink coffee hardly ever, and Austin has stopped drinking his iced coffee for whatever reason, so we're good right now.
Yeah, I use the Dollar General version of the sugar-free powdered stuff because I like my coffee to stay hot. So, but my wife is drinking the Coffee Mates. She's been stuck on this. My sister got her stuck on that. I think it's Twix flavored or something. It's sugar-free too, but yeah, be careful, folks. 10,000 coffee creamers across 13 states. Let's see. The mislabeled coffee creamer was recalled on October 12th from all stores in Arkansas, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Mississippi, New Mexico, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and Wisconsin. Ohio's not there, but I don't trust it. International Delight didn't share the lot number for the recalled coffee creamer, but it did call out that the recall impacts all peppermint mocha zero sugar creamers I don't like that one anyway. With the best buy date of February 25th. So what happened to it is they're recalling all that. The other Home Alone creamers, including regular peppermint mocha, hot chocolate, marshmallow, frosted sugar, have not been recalled. I wouldn't trust that, folks. I would stay away from that brand altogether just to be safe at this point, for now at least. Misbranding. They've been recalled for misbranding. So is that because there's poison, or is it?
Yeah, what does that mean? Misbranding.
Or did they just put the wrong flavor on or the wrong tag on the wrong flavor? Because if that's the case, like what the hell? That's not gonna make you sick, but you'll.
Well, it could though. Potentially it could, because there's a lot of people with different food allergies out there, and if it
Yeah.
say has nuts in it, and someone who's allergic to nuts isn't
Yep.
expecting that.
Absolutely. Like a hazelnut flavor instead of the peppermint flavor. Yes, absolutely. That makes sense. Good point. See? Also, it could be if you're not supposed to be drinking sugar and you're buying a zero sugar and it was labeled as zero sugar and it has sugar in it, that could be a problem too. It says it's unclear if the regular International Delight Peppermint Mocha, which contains 5 grams of sugar per serving, was mislabeled as zero sugar, or if the zero sugar had sugar accidentally added. See, there it is, added to it. So if you're watching your sugar intake, it's safer to throw the cream away or to return it to your, just stay away from it if that's the case. So it seems like they don't know whether or not there's sugar in it or not. So that makes sense. Either way, there you go. Thank you for the info, Arctic, big time.
No problem.
Yeah, it could definitely be. It could definitely be dangerous because you never know. My oldest son is allergic to cashews, not any other peanuts, but cashews. And he got, I can't remember what the hell he ended up getting. He was at work one night. Somebody gave him something that they had, and they said it had peanuts in it. It didn't have peanuts in it. It was cashew. It was like a peanut brittle, but it was full of cashews and not peanuts instead. So he starts eating it, which it's good. You know, he likes the cashews. He just can't eat them. And within 10 minutes of eating that, he said his throat started to close and he like swelled up and everything. So he had to go to the hospital and get, whatever they gave him. And it ended up being that there was cashews in it instead of peanuts. So yeah, you got to be careful with that kind of stuff. Absolutely. 100%. So again, thank you for that info, brother. I appreciate that very much. Because these things are important, guys. You just never know.
Well, I mean, I know we've got a lot of people that drink coffee in here, and I was like, yeah, that probably needs to be brought to someone's attention.
Especially if somebody's really, really like not able to have any kind of sugar at all. That could cause a seriously adverse reaction to that, and that's not good. So that's important in a lot of ways. Oh, let me see. Let me move something here real quick and give us that. So this is live breaking at this point. It's actually saying it. That's what it is. But downtown Orlando mass shooting, 8 shot, 2 dead. Live from Fox. This was last night, I believe, on Halloween. Let's see here.
Plane mode if they are locked.
Can you guys hear this?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep, I hear
This
it.
particular one would not allow me to place it in airplane mode.
So how did you go about extracting data?
This is not it. I don't know why they do this. They're talking about a case that sorry guys, give me a second here. I grabbed the wrong link, I think.
I know I read where state rested in the Delphi case, and that really surprised me. I thought this was supposed to be a long, long trial.
Yeah, I expected it to be too, but we're gonna be looking into that this afternoon. So I can almost promise now, especially now that Halloween's over. All right, let's try this instead, folks.
Breaking right now. This is News 6, getting results.
Right now, a mass shooting investigation in the heart of downtown Orlando. Police saying 8 people were shot, 2 of them killed, after a 17-year-old opened fire in the busy bar district. Good morning on your Friday. It is 6 a.m. I'm Crystal Moyer. Bridget has the day off. We'll get to your weather and traffic in just a moment. But first, we want to get straight to our News 6 anchor, Steve Montiero, live from Orlando.
This was put out 5 hours ago, guys, just so you know.
Orlando Police Headquarters. And for those of you just now joining us, Steve, you got an update from the police chief about an hour ago, and police actually showed surveillance footage from that scene.
That's right, Crystal. Look, this is the one thing you and I, even on the desk yesterday, talked that we did not want to happen. And it's the exact same thing that all our law enforcement leaders in Central Florida have been preaching over the past few days. But last night we did have.
Yeah, Mikey lives real close to this. Says downtown Orlando was a mess last night. I have 2 friends that were on 2 different sides of the city, and both their cars got broken into. It has turned very hood down there, like hood. So really bad ghetto then. Yeah, this has become, I've heard a lot of stories about this too, recently. So if you're down in this area, please be safe. Please be safe.
Have what we are calling a mass shooting, a 17-year-old suspect opening fire on a crowd all over the place there, 2 separate locations, and we do have video from last night, and we can show you that right now. What you're seeing here is those shots being rung out on security footage in that area. There were 2 separate areas of a shooting scene, and people just started running all throughout downtown. Then on body camera video, you see Orlando Police Department officers that were out there working the security detail identify the shooter and take this suspect to the ground. The crowd there last night was absolutely insane, with thousands of people visiting downtown Orlando. I can tell you from experience, I have been to a Halloween celebration years ago, and I can only imagine that it has gotten way bigger over the years.
This is a child again. This is becoming a problem, folks. This is a child, a 17-year-old child. I don't care. 17 is almost adult or not. This is still a child in my mind. That is, these kids are doing these things now a lot more often than they had been, and this is insane. Look how many people are down there. This could have ended way worse than it did, and it's still bad. 8 people shot, 2 killed. This could have been worse. And it's, this is just bad. Mike says all the bars have to have metal detectors, and if they want to stay open past midnight, they need special permits and extra security. See, this is crazy, guys. What the hell is going on? I'm glad they got the guy, and he wasn't able to either take himself out or get away, because that's just not the way this works. You need to face the music for this. But yeah, amazing work for the police. Thank you for that. Please, Mike, be safe. Stay away from, I know you get around and do certain things, but just be careful, brother, please.
Now, Chief Smith did have some words to talk about during a press conference earlier this morning.
Can you speak to the degree your law enforcement officers were acting? That law enforcement officer sees the suspect, identifies them, and immediately takes him to the ground. Kind of talk the mindset of what your law enforcement officers are encountering in downtown Orlando.
So, in downtown Orlando, but throughout the whole city, and throughout anywhere with law enforcement officers, they're always trained, they're always ready to act. As soon as they heard the shots fired, you can watch any of these videos. None of the officers, went the other way. They didn't go with the crowd. Most of them, got a little bit of cover between them. They started scanning, seeing what was going on, and then they moved. They took action to keep everybody else safe, and that's what these officers do, and that's their job, and they did it, and I'm very proud of them.
You heard it right there from Orlando Police Chief Eric Smith. He is proud of his law enforcement officers last night, and this community should also be very proud. Yeah, it is a very tragic situation, but these officers were posted at every single corner. There's not a law enforcement officer not.
Good morning, Miss Kim. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. I hope you're having a great Friday, and we appreciate you so much.
Seen in any of the video that we were able to obtain at this point from Orlando Police Department. But we have coverage all through Central Florida right now. Our News 6 Angie Casada is over at Orlando Regional Medical Center, where she has been monitoring the in and out flow over there. Angie.
Yes. Here right away as soon as we heard that what happened, and as soon as we arrived at the hospital, there were several family members and friends waiting to hear about their loved ones. Now, some of them were teenagers, some were much older, but the hospital was on lockdown and they couldn't hear anything. A lot of mothers expressing just the wait was just terrible, not knowing what was happening with their sons. Now, since then, the hospital is currently on lockdown still, but those family and friends were allowed into the hospital, and we're told that they were put into separate conference rooms to be informed on their loved ones' conditions. We haven't heard back yet, but right now what we know is that there's been a total of 8 victims. 2 have died, and we even spoke to one UCF student who was out celebrating Halloween. He said his friend did not hesitate to step up and protect him.
He tackled me and a girl to the floor and pretty much shielded us, and he ended up being the one that got shot.
If you had to describe your friend, who is he as a person?
The bravest person I've ever met in my life. The bravest, the single bravest person I've ever met in my life. Hands down, and I'll never meet anybody braver than that in my life.
And, you know, Steve, you mentioned it earlier. This has been, you know, growing up in Central Florida. It's one of the best memories coming out to downtown Florida, downtown Orlando, I'm sorry, to celebrate Halloween with your friends and your loved ones. So the fact that this even took place has been completely tragic. Of course, we'll keep you updated on the victims' conditions and if we get any updates.
Damn shame. This is why people don't do anything anymore, why people don't want to go anywhere, why people have become homebodies. And it affects the economy because people aren't out spending money anymore because they're afraid.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, I don't blame them. I don't blame people. I'm one of them people. I'm not comfortable. I have very high, and we've talked about this before. I have very high anxiety if I go out to places now, even to flipping Walmart, folks. When I'm walking through Walmart, my wife is always asking me, she's like, what the hell are you looking at? Everything. I don't trust people anymore. You know, I'm watching my family. I'm watching what's going on around me. It's just, it's not right. And it's a sad thing because it's become part of our everyday life now. Because you don't know who to trust. And you can't look at somebody anymore and go, that one right there. I don't know. You know, anybody will do this now. People that look perfectly normal, folks, and seem normal, snap. And it's on. It's a bad situation. Oh yeah. It's crazy, guys. It's just insane to me. It's not fair, and there's really nothing we can do about it. That's the problem. You know, people cannot relax anymore. You can't enjoy yourself anymore. I used to love going to we have a thing here in the city that I grew up in, which is about 15 minutes away, where they have an amphitheater and they give free concerts over the summer. They bring in like probably 7 to 10 different tribute bands, and occasionally they get a well-known band that comes in. They charge you $5 to get in the door. They have all these food, like little things there, and you can get alcohol if you drink and stuff like that. It's a good time. It's a good time. I don't go anymore. I don't trust it anymore. I'm scared to death of what could happen. People flip out. Something happens. Everybody in this state carries a gun now because we're allowed to, and that's all it takes. And most adults, I'll give it this, are pretty regulated. What we're seeing more recently, though, just like with this, a 17-year-old kid. For what reason did he do this? I want to know his motive behind this. Because he could? Was he mad at somebody that was there? Was he trying to prove a point? I mean, this is getting to be a really bad, like, daily situation, folks. Almost daily. And it's really starting to get into my head.
Everyone's like that, Dago. Because for me, like, even with the dentist, or if I take Preston to eat somewhere, it's like I always have to sit to where I'm facing the door. I need to see who's coming in. I need to see who's leaving. I've got to see everything, and I've got to put him behind me. No matter what, he's got to be to my right side, and I always have to face the door. And I was just thinking yesterday, I was like, wow, and this is only going to get worse from here. I mean, it's not going to get any better.
That's the problem, is it's going to get worse than what it is. And now I have a deep fear for my grandchildren and my children as to what they're going to have to deal with as this goes on. I'll stay in my house. I don't give two shits. I'll go out to go to the doctor, go to the store, do what I got to do, and go home. Not that that's what I should be doing, but that's at this point what keeps me comfortable. Yeah. Okay. It is what it is. So I don't know. I don't know, but there is an update on this from an hour ago I just found. Let's see if it gives anything else to give you guys some more incitement or enlightenment on this. Sorry. Anybody anywhere, please be careful and keep your head on a swivel. Sadly, I have to say that, but you just don't know anymore.
Steve on patrol. Now we're doing things
a little differently today because obviously we have a lot going on here in Central Florida. So let's think about what we have going on this morning. If you have not watched any of the morning news, we have had a major mass shooting here in the downtown Orlando area, right off of Orange Avenue. We're using kind of the Beecham as the center focus of this because it did start outside. And what I want to use this stream for today is to kind of walk through this area piece by piece, show you guys really where we are, take a methodical kind of walk through this, nothing rushed, super casual, so you guys can see firsthand exactly how close and fast this happened in downtown Orlando last night. So if you're living under a rock or anything like that, you don't know where Wall Street is at. Wall Street's here in downtown Orlando off of Orange Avenue, kind of south, just north of Central here. And you can see the entrance to Wall Street right up over here, where the stage is always set up, where people are always hanging out, where, you know, a lot of activities do take place here in downtown. So let's talk about this. What was happening last night? Last night was Halloween. We talk about this stuff all the time. All week we talked about being safe, making sure you're making the right decisions and things like that. But the kickback to that was weird. So we are now here in downtown, and this area of Orange Avenue is shut down on the weekends. So this entire area for Halloween was filled with thousands of people. We're estimating 50,000 people plus here for the festive celebrations. And this is what happens all the time here. Security shuts it down. Law enforcement shuts it down, and it's created a safety zone more or less so there's no cars moving through, right? So a lot of the pedestrians, they hang out on the street, sidewalk, totally okay, and the law enforcement's presence. So on a normal night, we obviously have a bunch of cops downtown, right? But with the increase of issues that we have had down here in downtown Orlando, which are a lot, they have increased their visibility. So with the Halloween celebration, we had well over 100 law enforcement officers within just a couple of blocks here from the city of Orlando. So that's just to paint a little picture for you. Every corner, mostly every bar had a law enforcement officer close. You could not walk downtown without seeing a police car or anything like that. So what has led up to this situation? A 17-year-old boy, I'm going to call him a 17-year-old boy, came here downtown Orlando, shot and killed 2 people and injured 6 other people. How'd this happen? So many people are like, Steve, with the law enforcement presence, with the security increases, how can something like this happen? Well, law enforcement presence and the private businesses here, that's just a mitigation. This all starts obviously somewhere else. So 17 years old, obviously under Florida law, not authorized to have any type of firearm. State of Florida, constitutional carry, 21 and up, unless you serve in the armed forces and it's 18 and up. Outside of that, a 17-year-old cannot own a firearm. Then people are, well, how did he get into the clubs? Well, walk this way with me. So Orlando Police Department was able to track this 17-year-old using a lot of their CCTV cameras. And we'll be able to show you some of those here once we get down closer to the intersection. And they were able to track this 17-year-old into downtown. They were also able to verify that he did not step foot into any bar or any of the clubs. So that's a good sign, showing that no firearm being carried by an individual who shouldn't have the firearm, wasn't at least authorized to go in. Heck, and he's 17 years old. So let's be real. He shouldn't even be here in downtown Orlando in the first place. So as the scene unfolded, this is what happens. We'll stop here for just a second. And
here's my first question with this whole situation. Where's his parents at? Did they know where he was? Did they care where he was? 17, I understand you're kind of at that age getting to be where you kind of do your own things, but still, no. My kids were 17. They still checked in with me. They had times to be home. They had things that they had to do. They had curfews, all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm just these are some of the questions I have with situations like this when it comes to a teenager doing something like this too. Just saying. It very much is, Elizabeth. It's very much becoming the norm, and it's very sad and scary.
I mean, my opinion on all this, and it's an unpopular one, because I mean, I do think that everyone should have a right to own guns to protect themselves and everything. Don't get me
Of course.
wrong.
Of course.
But we're at a point now where we're going back to the Wild West, where everyone and their brother has a gun and they're just walking the streets, and we're going to just be taking our own justice before too much longer, because we're letting every small dicked bastard carry a gun at their side to overcompensate for their shortcomings with no real due diligence. There's no real background checks in many cases, because you can go into a pawn shop and walk out with a gun in 5 minutes or less. There's no permits in many of these states. They're just constitutional carry, and you don't have to get a permit or anything to open carry wherever you want to go. And until we start doing at least some common sense gun laws in this country, we're going to see this every single fucking day. Until we start valuing our kids more than we value our guns, we're going to continue. We're going to continue to see this every single day.
I agree. I can agree. Like Ohio, we are now open carry and stand your ground. Okay. You don't have to have anything. You don't have to have anything to have a gun in your hand. Now, if you have a criminal record, a felony, any kind of that, you're not allowed, of course. That doesn't mean anything. They're so accessible now. People get them every day. You can go down the street we have flea markets here where they have gun shows that people want to make money. So they kind of go around, take little shortcuts here or there, and guess what? Every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a gun in their hand. It's not the way it's supposed to be, okay? And all it takes is for somebody. My issue with this now, like I said, is that being that we have the stand your ground law, people get into an argument, they get upset with each other, bang, bang. That's not the answer, folks. Now, there are a lot of people that are very responsible, don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of people that should never have a gun in their hand ever. Okay. And it happens. It's happening every day now. And it's a problem. Like Arctic said, we're going to see this way so much more.
And like Elizabeth said, a lot of it stems from the parents. That's why I am so grateful that they're starting to hold these parents accountable when their kids get a hold of the guns and commit these atrocious crimes. Hey, be a gun owner, that's great, but keep your shit locked up where your kids can't get their hands on it and do this shit. Otherwise, face the consequences.
Exactly. The 15-year-old in Falls City that just killed his entire family, folks. The entire family, a 15-year-old child. How did he get a gun in his hand? That's what I want to know. Okay. At 15 years old, no, that's not acceptable to me. There should be no way. I own guns. Okay. There's no way in hell that my kids, grandkids, anybody's going to get that in their hand unless I know about it wholeheartedly. There's no way. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. The parenting skills are so lacking nowadays. So lacking. Okay. Again, this has become apparent, and it's not. Here's a phone. Text me, call me, message me, snap me, Instagram me, whatever the hell it is. No. Talk to me. Come to me and talk to me. That's how that's supposed to be. That's what the problem is. Parents aren't talking to their kids. Parents don't pay attention to their kids. And this isn't everybody. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of very good parents out here still, or people that would be very good parents that don't do those types of things. But there's so many of these parents that are that kind of a parent, that they're too busy for their kid. They don't want to hear their child when they're talking, or their grandchild. They don't want to listen. They don't have the time to listen, or they don't care to listen. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. And it's got to change. It's got to change, because if it doesn't change, this is like, it's going to get worse regardless, but it's going to be so much worse, because we're going to have more and more kids. I'm telling you guys, they're going to start taking these to school more often. And there's just going to be problems after problems after problems. It's got to change. There's got to be some kind of legislation or something done. I mean, I know it sounds dumb, but they need to put laws out there to make parents be parents, because it really does start in a lot of senses from parenting. You got to start caring about your kids. You really do. Okay. or stop having them. Like I've been saying, stop having them if you don't want them. If you don't want to deal with them, you don't want to raise them, you don't have to be a parent, stop having them. Okay? I mean, it's that simple. It is so ridiculous. How many children are their own parent? That's bullshit. I'm sorry. That is absolute bullshit. Lazy parents, yes, Stormy, 100%. Lazy isn't even the flipping word for it. Right, Sherry says there's too many kids raising themselves. What the hell is that all about? And why?
And I always have the unpopular opinion when it comes to children, because the way things have become now, you have to have a license to drive a car. You have to take a test. I'm sorry, but with humanity the way it is right now, we need a license to have a child. You should be able to somehow prove you can be some kind of parent. If you can't,
Amen.
you don't get one.
Well,
Don't buy
you
a
know,
car.
I'm glad you brought licenses up. You also should have a license to carry a gun. That you should
Yes,
have a
yes,
license to where
I
all these
agree.
guns can be traced back to you.
Yep.
To where, especially if you're going to conceal carry or even open carry, you should have to have a goddamn license for that. Fuck all this constitutional carry
I
fucking
think
bullshit. It's
I
too
do believe
easy for
that.
everyone.
I do believe that because I feel
Yep.
like to get that, you have to take a class to get that license to carry.
Yep.
So without that class, any Tom, Dick, or Harry could just pick up a gun and be like, "Oh, look what I can do." No, bullshit. Take your class, get some training, because without training, this is what happens.
Exactly. I agree.
I mean, you have to show that you're able to handle a car properly in order to get a license to drive a car. I
Yep,
think you should be able to demonstrate that you can handle a gun proficiently before you're able to carry a gun with you.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I do agree with that. I do, and
Yep.
I'm huge on the Second Amendment, but I definitely do agree with you on that because it's just it's too accessible, and with careless parenting, with that being so accessible, there is no way. This is just a disaster.
It 100%. Yes, absolutely. And I will agree with the first thing that Arctic said, or that Doodle said. And I said this before. I think at this point you should almost have to take a a test before you're allowed to get pregnant. Okay, and if you don't pass that test, at least with an 85% average, then you should not be able to carry a child in your body. I'm sorry, you should not be able to mother a child because there are so many stupid people that are having children that should never even look at a child, let alone bear a child. I'm sorry. They do the dumbest shit, the stupidest things, the most irresponsible things. No, it shouldn't happen. I'm sorry. You should have to pass a test that shows that you're a normal. Oh, that's a bad word to use.
And I know that sounds like it, it could be taken so many ways. And I understand that it's an unpopular opinion because nobody wants to be told what to do. But
Of
you know
course
what?
not.
If it saves a child's life, who cares if somebody's telling you what to do? You know?
But see,
Sometimes
and it's
people
good
need
that
to know what to do.
see, Stormy, it's good that you know that you have these issues and that you won't go buy a gun. The problem is, it would be so easy for you to go walk into a pawn shop right now and walk out with a gun in less than 15 minutes, and no one would ever even look to see if you had any type of mental health issues. People that are on the crazy train are buying guns and walking out with them all the time.
Right. And it all goes back to one more thing, folks, that we talk about every day. Money. Money, 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 greed, and money. People want money so bad that they're willing to just sell it to anybody. And when they leave after buying it, that's not their problem. They don't care. They don't know what's going to happen with that person that just bought that gun off of them. They don't care because they made that money.
It's the
That's
same
one of the
thing as
biggest problems.
if you work in a bar and you overserve.
Thank
It's
you.
the same
Yep.
thing. A life can be taken that fast. You just don't know. Just be a good human.
Start paying attention. Stop minding your own business and pay attention and see things for what they are and say something about it. It all goes in a circle, folks. It really does.
Oh,
And then,
wisdom, that's a huge problem.
yeah, street
Street
guns are a
guns
bad
is a
thing.
huge problem. Huge problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's a lot of people that can't get, like I said, felons, okay, that should never have a gun. Guess what? They're the ones that get them the most. Just saying. There's a way to do everything, okay? Ghost guns, that's a good point. That's a good way to put it. Yes. Because they're not registered anywhere. And they're purposely that way. Good morning, Phil. Good to see you today. So I'm just saying, and that's a good point. You can make up names, you can do all sorts of things. So it's very hard to do some of these things. But we got to figure something out because there's too many people dying, too many of our children, too many of us. Okay. And it's just becoming a daily thing, guys. Guys, I can remember, and I know that Doodle and Arctic will absolutely agree with this. We're around the same ages, okay? But I can go back and remember when a mass shooting was something that would happen every 5 years. Guys, this is a daily thing now. This is insane. It's absolutely nuts. Every 5 years, you'd hear this. Oh my God, this is horrible. Daily? Every time we clip onto this damn channel thing, or this internet thing, and we look at something, there's something about this every day almost. That's sad. There's too many people losing their lives for no reason. No reason. Okay? That's the problem. I'm just tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking about it because it hurts. I know this sounds ridiculous, but it literally hurts to see us. We're killing each other. Okay? Let alone what other people from other countries or what want to do to us. We're killing each other. Believe that or not. Yeah, you can even do the 3D printed guns too. I've seen that now too. It's ridiculous. It's enough. It is so sad. So anyway, I'll set up again. You know, I start to ramble when I get on these little things, but this is something that really bothers me. But I'll let him finish what he's saying.
Imagine this for a second. 1 o'clock in the morning, about 50 to 100,000 people right here, right where I'm standing. We were just back a little further, and you could actually see some of the blood trail as it was going and further down the roadway over there. So this scene was incredibly chaotic, and we have some video. So that's what we'll show you right now. The security video from the
Sorry, guys. Good morning, Miss Barbara. Good to see you. I hope you're having a wonderful day. God bless, and we appreciate you so much, Miss Barbara. Thank you for being here.
Intersection of Washington and Central shows you the massive crowd out here, and then suddenly a shot rings out. An individual goes down on the roadway, and the suspect flees. At that point, several hundred feet just kind of east of there,
See, the problem with a situation like this is you don't know who has that gun right away. That's the problem. You could run right into that person. That's what this thing here is what scares the hell out of me, is having this many people together and something like that happen. You don't know. You could turn around trying to run because this stuff echoes and you don't know exactly where that shot, unless you watch that person drop, it's coming from. You could run directly into that person. You don't know. And people go into mass panic mode and it becomes way worse than it could be. And there's no way to control that, guys. This is what scares me so bad. Is this a gathering like this? That's why I don't do these things anymore.
Second shooting takes place by the same exact shooter, and that's when Orlando Police Department is able to put eyes on and take that shooter to the ground physically. Now, no shots fired by Orlando Police Department early this morning, but a lot of people have asked me, Steve, why would they have not taken that shot and neutralized that shooter? Let's talk about that. The body cam video shows the chaotic scene that's happening there. So if law enforcement just suddenly started to open fire, then obviously their bullets could have been striking some innocent victims. We'll go down here to the intersection itself and show you kind of exactly where it happened. But with law enforcement, they need to make sure, good morning, gentlemen, they need to make sure that they're actually identifying their threat and that they're no longer engaging in someone that could be possibly not involved. So this right here, that big video that you saw just a second ago, this entire intersection out here was shut down, and the shooting took place about right there. And this is where that shooting took place. This entire intersection was completely shut down, and that individual walked out here while there were hundreds of people right here in the intersection and was able to walk up on a victim and open fire. That wasn't the only scene. So the scene's first shooting took place right here, and then I'll have photojournalist Goose follow me. The second shooting took place a little further south here, right in the middle of the intersection. This was packed with people, not a vehicle to be seen out here, just filled up, shoulder to shoulder. The shots from the first scene had already rung out, and then the second shooting took place. That's when OPD actually witnessed the shooter. A lot of people are like, wow, how were they able to see that? You got to think, what is their job? Their job is to look to see where the threat is. be present to encounter the threat. That's what their job is to do while everyone else was running. So they were able to take that person right to the ground. Guys, I have been here personally so many times in downtown.
And I will say right now, because I'm 100% behind law enforcement. That, I gotta say, is amazing work. That is what we need everywhere, all the time. That's good stuff, and that's how it should be.
Yep.
I don't even know how they did that. That's insane to me that they were able to focus in on this guy out of all these people. That is what it should be, and that's amazing. God bless them for what they did, and please, please support them, because that's good police work, folks. Really is. So, go ahead, Arctic. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with you. That is very amazing police work on their end, and I applaud them for what they did. I did want to say though that when I was a kid, I remember almost every store or business you went into, they had signs up, no firearms allowed, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And back then we didn't see these types of shootings that we see going on today. And it's
Right.
because, back then not everyone was playing John Wayne with a gun strapped to their side. I really feel like if we took away a lot of this unregulated open carry shit, we'd see a lot less problems than what we're having right now.
I agree. I think they need to put more stipulations and more regulations on it. Truly, there needs to be registration. There needs to be licensing. I absolutely agree, because it was a lot more organized and a lot more coordinated. And you're right. I do agree with you. I'm not trying to take anybody's rights away from them. It's always been the same way. Right to bear arms is right to bear arms, but there needs to be a law to support it, or laws. Okay. And that's what keeps things, regulated and organized. It's not a big deal. Anybody that is a responsible person that should own a gun should be okay with it. The people that probably aren't going to be okay with it are the people that don't want, the people that are going to do something like this. Okay. It's not a big deal. It takes a little extra time. So what?
Well, and you also have to keep in mind when the Constitution was written and the right to bear arms was put in there, it was because we didn't have an organized military. It says in order to form a well guarded militia. Also, that they were talking about goddamn muskets. They weren't talking about semi automatic weapons, AK 47s, all this type of shit.
Very
so,
true.
I mean, like I said, I don't want to take anyone's ability to own a gun away from them. I just think that we also need much more regulation than what we've got going on right now in the country.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I will wholeheartedly stick by you with that one too. Sherry's got a good point too. She says she's older than most, and she can say that the mentality has changed a lot. That's very true. A lot of people's mentalities have changed a lot. That's fact. I'll say that much. There's a lot of mental health issues that didn't exist back then, that are way more prominent now. Or if they did exist back then, we just didn't know about it. Okay. But they're out there on the surface now, and they affect what goes on. I think that society itself has opened up doors for people to come out and say, I'm going to flip out right now, and this is what's going to happen. As to before, it was a little bit different. I don't know what changed it, but I do feel that.
Hey, Doc Holliday, I get what you're laying down there, and that's the argument that everyone wants to throw out every time any mention of any type of gun regulation is brought up. But you know what? You look at these countries that have better gun laws, like Canada, like the UK, and everything, and you look at the amount of mass shootings that they have compared to what we have now here in this country, and it's undisputable that yes, you'll still have some incidents happen, but you'll have far less of them take place.
Right. Thank you. What's up, Doc? Good to see you today. Thank you for joining us, and I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your input. I respect it very much. So it is a good point. What good are the laws if people don't follow them? That's very true. But if they're in place, at least it's an option. Okay. At least it's an option. And if they don't follow the laws, then there's a lot more repercussions to happen, because he's right. I have friends in Australia, and we talk, a lot of you guys are from the UK and have told us how that stuff works. Thank you, Doodle. And, again, if there's a law in place or a regulation in place that you need to follow, if you don't, the repercussions need to be, locked down. That's another problem too, is that people have no fear of consequence now, because there isn't much of one. Okay. Until it's too late. When it's too late, it's too late. Somebody has lost their life before. You're going to have to pay the consequences for this. If there's consequences beforehand, it might slow this down. So I have to agree with that too. That's a very good point, though, Doc. I appreciate that. And thank you, Doodle, again, if you didn't hear me, and I appreciate that. Walt Harris, Dago here. Good to see you. Exotic said, where did she say? Let me find it. Hold on. Back up. Oh, here it is. I think not putting school shootings on evening news maybe to prevent copycats couldn't hurt. Yeah, you know, in some senses, I agree with that. I've made that statement before that we see this happening. Just like what did I? Okay, here's a perfect example, and I'm going to show you something on this here shortly. This is done for the most part anyway, but we're going to move on. I'm sure everybody has heard the news about the is this number 4 now? Assassination attempt on Trump. 3 or 4, I can't remember. But when the first one happened, I said this is going to open up a door for multiple people that are going to try to take this guy out. Okay, and here we are. When you see it happen and you see what happens with it, unfortunately, sometimes people don't care. But you know, the first one was taken out. End of story. So that's a bad ending to that situation. That should be something that would deter somebody from doing it, but it doesn't always do it. So when you see these things happening and people will see this and get the idea of like, wow, I want to do that. Look at the attention that person got. Sadly, yes, that's a problem too. I think there's got to be a way to do this, but we also have the right to see these things and to know these things. You know what I mean? So that's kind of a touchy thing, but I do agree with you in some senses that is part of the problem, maybe. Doc says we got laws, we need stricter judges. Good point as well. They're trying to take Trump out. It's just happening left and right. Yes. I'm going to show you guys something on here in a minute. What healthcare in America is a joke, which is why we have mentally unstable people running amok, acting crazy. That's another big problem too. The healthcare, people can't afford it. People cannot afford it here. I mean, is anybody going to argue that, you know, medications and just healthcare alone, it's impossible unless you get, you know, state insurance, I guess it's called. It's very hard to get help with things. And you also have the people that won't reach out for it. They just don't want to because they don't think anything's wrong, or they just don't get it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of issues that go along with a lot of this stuff. I get it. That's another good point, Stormy. It is. And yes, the mental health issues have definitely gotten worse. What's the reason behind that? It's a good question. You know, is it because of society in itself, or is it something else going on? Who knows? You know, I'd love to know the answer to that question. Why is it so prominent right now as compared to 30 years ago? Something's wrong. I got to say that's a true point to me, but I don't know. Arctic, Doodle, anything else to add to that?
I mean, yeah, there are some gun laws out there. They're not strict enough, in my opinion. And I mean, people are still able to open carry unregulated. And as long as we keep handing out guns like they're fucking packets of M&Ms, we're going to still have the problems that we're having. You can punish the people stricter all you want. I think, and I agree with Exotic. You know, we keep glamorizing these crimes that these mass shooters are doing, and they're like, "Oh, if I commit a crime like this, I can become famous too." That's part of the problem as well.
Good point. It's a good point. I get it. And here's the thing, Stormy, with what you just said. She says, I take 4 different medications to stabilize my bipolar depression and manic episodes. Thank God I can afford them. There it is. Okay. First off, you recognize issues that you have and you're dealing with it as best you can. That's a problem in itself. People don't go to deal with those when they don't want to recognize, or they don't recognize, or they don't understand it, and they're not trying to reach out to get help for it. You're doing that. God bless for doing that. You know, that's a big step in itself. The other problem with this is the medications are so damn expensive that some people just can't do it. You weigh it out. Do I eat or do I medicate? It's a fact. Do I have a roof over my head, or do I medicate? Now there are. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to address Walt real quick. Look, I despise Trump as much as anyone. I've made no qualms about that shit, and I'm not a real political person. I vote, basically. Yeah, I'm in the middle of the political spectrum. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat. But I don't care who the candidate is and how much you don't like someone. To wish them dead is never ever called for.
No. I mean, I see what you're saying, Walt. I know what you mean by that, but no, it's not the answer. It's definitely not. We had. Where's the new one at? I can't find the newest one. We had the one that they took the guy out with, and then there was another one, which is this guy here. 1 second here. I don't want to talk about Diddy, but I want this part to be put out there. Yeah. This was the other one that came after the first, I believe. So maybe it's the third one, or I still thought it was 4, but still. Hold on. Let's see if this
attempt on former President Trump in one of his golf courses in Florida. Trump spoke about it overnight after the suspect appeared in court for the first time. Rachel Scott is in West Palm Beach with the latest on the investigation. Good morning, Rachel.
George, we are learning.
1 second. I forgot there's something I need to do too. My apologies, guys. Give me 1 quick second. Okay. Here we go.
Learning new details this morning. Officials say this is where the suspect was camped out for nearly 12 hours in those bushes. Just over those hedges is the golf course. A Secret Service agent just one hole ahead, spotting the barrel of a rifle sticking out.
Keep walking!
Overnight, new body camera video showing the moment officers arrested the 58-year-old man they say camped out on Donald Trump's golf course for 12 hours, allegedly trying to assassinate him.
What's your name, Austin? Ryan?
Trump was moving across the fairway near the 5th hole. A Secret Service agent yelling out gun, spotting a barrel of a rifle sticking out from the fence.
All of a sudden we heard shots being fired in the air, and I guess probably 4 or 5. And it sounded like bullets, but what do I know about that? But Secret Service knew immediately it was bullets, and they grabbed me.
The former president recounting it all during an online conversation on the platform X, formerly known as Twitter.
I was with an agent, and the agent did a fantastic job.
Secret Service immediately surrounding Trump and taking him to a safe location. Sources say agents fired 4 to 6 rounds.
The subject, who did not have line of sight to the former president, fled the scene. He did not fire or get off any shots at our agents. With reports of gunfire, the former president's close protection detail immediately evacuated the president to a safe location.
That suspect, Ryan Ralph, taking off on foot, jumping into a black Nissan SUV. A witness spotting him driving off, taking a picture of the license plate number and alerting police.
He was smart. He was just driving with the flow of traffic. Yeah, I think that he may have thought he got away with it.
45 minutes later, police tracked down the suspect traveling northbound on I-95.
Driver! Take 2 steps to your right!
You can see him exiting the vehicle, taken into custody, appearing in court Monday facing 2 felony gun charges. Authorities say he had a loaded SKS, a Soviet-style semi-automatic rifle with scope, a digital camera, a backpack, and a bag containing.
See, this is another problem. Why do you need a gun like this? Why? No, unless you're a soldier, okay, and you're in the military, you do not need an SKS. I'm sorry. You don't need it for hunting. You don't need it for anything else. You just don't need it. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
And I think that's part of, and again, I'm not trying to take anybody's rights away to own what you want to own. I'm just telling you, it's not a necessity, folks. You can do the same.
No, I'll say this. You don't need to be able to own a gun like that in this country.
No.
If you want to play G.I. Joe, go join the fucking military. And I get that some people enjoy shooting them for sport. Okay, well, that's well and good. Let the gun ranges where people can have them with special licenses where people can go shoot them under supervision, but they damn sure don't need to be out on our fucking streets.
Absolutely. AK-47s, SKS, none of that kind of stuff needs to be in the hands of a residential civilian living in a neighborhood that I just don't understand that. There's no point in that. There's no reason for that. I think that they should not be legal to own. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to upset anybody that does own them or say anything against it. I know a couple people that have them myself. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Doodle?
It's okay, I forgive you.
I know, but see, you're
bro. Listen, you have great points. Both of you do, and I can.
You're a former law enforcement officer.
I'm old, and I've had mine forever, and I've never taken it outside of my property. To be completely honest with you, why I bought them, I don't know, because it was cool at the moment. I don't know.
You were also a licensed law enforcement officer, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
then
that is true.
That's different.
But it's not that I ever used it when I was at work, though. So I can't use that as my defense. So I don't know.
I get it, but you don't need to have that type of ability to cause that much damage. I mean, nobody. What the hell are you going to do with an SKS if you're hunting a deer? Shred it up?
You don't use it for that. See, for me, it's just target. It is what Arctic was saying, like just fun to shoot. That's kind of the mentality, honestly, of why I got it.
I understand completely. That's why everybody usually gets them.
Yeah, I'm guilty.
Unless you're this
Which
guy.
is why I said, I mean, you should still be allowed to shoot them for sport, but do it at a gun range where it's regulated, not just let everyone willy-nilly have them out on the street.
Yeah, I agree, because honestly, what else do you need them for?
Nothing.
I don't go anywhere with it. I don't.
No, unless you're trying to do this. Okay, you have a lot of militia members that carry these types of weapons.
Yeah,
and it causes problems, folks. It causes problems. I'm sorry. You can own a 9mm,
but you don't have to walk down the road shining it.
No,
that shows you're up to no good.
Right? I have certain weapons myself. Okay, they're legal weapons. They do the amount of damage that they need to do, the stopping power that they have for the reasons that they need to be used for. That's it. This is crazy. A Soviet-style SKS. Come on. We live in America, first off. We don't need Russian weapons. We just don't. I don't know. This is a problem for me. It's been a big deal for me. I think this is part of the issue. People get these guns in their hands sometimes, depending on the mental capacity, and they want to see what it's going to do. Okay? It's just a thing. So please don't mind me, and please don't be offended by me. I'm not trying to be offended.
No, not at all. You're right. And it does. Listen, it just shows everything you just said is a good example of mentality. Just because I don't take mine anywhere, that just means I know there's no reason for me to have it outside of my home or on my property, or if I'm target practicing, because that's about all I do with it.
Right.
But mentally, if I would think otherwise, I could be out there doing all this bad crap. So, I mean, there needs to be a regulation for sure. There has to be. There needs to be order. And if you want to talk about order, then you have to add that in there, because that's a big problem.
At some point, yes, I agree. I mean, for Australia, I think I was talking to somebody, David. You're only allowed to own certain types of hand or weapons in Australia, and you're only allowed to have so many. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't have something like this by any means. I think you're allowed.
The stockpiling of weapons is definitely an issue too, especially with some of these cults, like the back in Alamo, the Koresh cult. They had weapons stockpiled out the ass out there.
Yeah, Waco was full of that kind of stuff, guys. Crazy. For what? For what? What were you going to get? That tells you the story. What were you going to do that you had all this? It doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, and I used to get asked all the time, why do you need all this stuff? Well, it was kind of my retirement plan. It wasn't for devious things. It was just my retirement plan. I didn't know when I got older what kind of plan I wanted. So I knew that with that, I could get rid of them if I had to in an emergency. That's kind of how I looked at it. Not to do bad,
Just like my toys, my dolls. Yeah, same thing. I understand that completely. Some people, innocent till proven guilty, welcome. Good to see you. Mocha, welcome. Mittens for Kittens, welcome. Everybody that's jumped in, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you very much, guys. Thank you for being here today. Innocent till proven guilty says they took our AR-15s away. We're not allowed to carry here in New Zealand. Yeah, it's a lot of countries like that. Because of the control, I think, is part of it. But again, it's a regulation that keeps people safe in some senses. I'm not saying I'm not saying that people shouldn't have their rights. Again, I want to clarify that, folks. I'm just telling you, I think this, in some senses, could be part of the problem, is all I'm saying. So
Well, it goes back to what we talk about when it comes to these tragedy pimps online and stuff. Just like we have the right to freedom of speech, but that's not an unregulated right. You can't libel people. You cannot cause harm to them through what you say with your words. You can't scream fire in a crowded movie theater when there's no fucking fire.
right.
So, I mean, every right that we have should. I mean, there needs to be some regulation there.
Yes. Agreed. I do agree. It's a good way to put it too. Very good way. Let me finish this off here, guys.
Food. This is now the second attempt on the former president's life in just 9 weeks, raising serious questions about how an armed man was able to get within 400 yards of Trump under heightened security protocol. The acting director of the Secret Service
That's what my question was after the first attempt, his security detail grew. It got bigger, more expansive, a lot more, how did this happen? People are getting in and doing these things. I'm just saying. That's a whole other story.
I'll keep my mouth shut on my opinion of the first attempt on him.
I know. And there's a lot of people that have different opinions about it, as do I. And I'll just leave that alone too. It's interesting. I'll just say that.
admitting that his agents did not search the perimeter of the golf course, explaining that the president wasn't even really supposed to go there.
Was the golf course searched thoroughly?
His shirt was pulled up, Mittens, because they checked him for other weapons and stuff like that, and they just never pulled it back down. So
Before the former president's arrival.
So at this time, it was an off-the-record movement, meaning it was not on the former president's official schedule.
And was there any evidence to suggest that the suspect knew that Donald Trump was going to be on that golf course at that time?
Based on what I know now, and it's an active investigation, I don't have any information on that.
The Secret Service promising the highest levels of protection for the former president. Trump and President Biden speaking by phone.
It was very nice that he called up to make sure I was okay, to make sure that, do I have any suggestions?
But Trump blaming his political opponents. Still, Democrats, from President Biden to Vice President Kamala Harris, were quick to condemn political violence.
Let me just say, there is no, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, those of you who know me, many of you do, no place in political violence for political violence in America. None. Zero. Never.
FBI officials have been on the scene. Officials have blocked off this road. They say this is the area where the suspect ran out of those bushes, attempted to flee, getting inside of that vehicle. As for former President Donald Trump, well, he is back out on the campaign trail today. He has a town hall in Michigan. He has a rally in New York tomorrow. The former president keeping with that busy campaign schedule. You heard from the acting director of the Secret Service insisting that he has the highest levels of protection.
That's a good point, Exotic. It is. Very good point. There's certain things that can be used for protection as well that you wouldn't think. I agree with that. All right, so let's see here. I wanted to show you, this isn't even what I was trying to show you guys. 1 second here. Unless this was fake. It came from a news source. I didn't think it was. Oh, here it is. Okay, hold on a minute. All right. Hey, Alicia. Welcome, dear. Good to see you today.
Back in year two, live now from Fox. I'm Andy Mack. Thank you so much for joining us. We're following some breaking news right here on Live Now from Fox, as a California sheriff is saying that a third assassination attempt against the former president was thwarted in California just this week. And I do want to put up just this post here on Live Now from Fox from the New York Post, saying a third Trump assassination attempt thwarted when an armed man arrested outside of the Coachella rally this weekend, as the last minute Saturday when cops stopped a man armed with guns and fake passes outside the rally in the Coachella Valley in California this week.
So this was the other one. That's where I think we talked about this slightly last week or 2 weeks ago. They caught this guy that had multiple weapons. He had multiple passports and IDs on him, so on and so forth. This was the third one. So yes. So there's been 3 possible attempts.
Weekend, of course, the suspect who was caught with about a mile from the rally venue with a phony entry pass, according to police. He was also carrying a loaded shotgun, handgun, and high-capacity magazine. Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco said, quote, "We probably stopped another assassination attempt." The suspect, identified as Vem Miller, was intercepted by police at a checkpoint about half a mile from the rally entrance. He was carrying phony passes and VIP passes. According to the Sheriff Bianco in that area, they said, quote, "They were different enough to cause the deputies alarm." Miller is believed to be a member of a right-wing anti-government organization, according to Bianco, and was plotting to kill the former president Donald Trump. Miller was booked on possession of a loaded firearm with a high-capacity magazine. Was released after posting $5,000 bail. This, according to police records, and
That's what I don't get. How the hell did you post bail? How did you let this man out on a $5,000 bond that tried to kill a president? Are you serious? Does that make any sense to anybody else? Truly? I mean, I understand that there's laws that have to be followed, that, you know, with the court systems and so on and so forth. But this, that doesn't make sense to me. And I remember looking at this. They showed a sheriff did a press conference on this. So, yeah, the catch and release program. Right. Exactly, Barbara.
we're hearing now different reaction about this third possible Trump assassination attempt from different lawmakers, including Republican Representative Anna Paulina Luna, saying, "I just received word of the third assassination attempt on President Trump's life. This is a time and our nation must come together to condemn violence. This is abhorrent and should never be tolerated in a civilized society. Our thoughts are with President Trump and his family." And there is expected to be a press conference coming up today. Hopefully we'll hear from Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco and other officials. But this, as we wait to hear from the former president at a rally right now in the Prescott Valley, different speakers ahead of him. Let's listen in to what they have to say here on Live Now from Fox.
Thoughts, anyone?
No, I mean, like I said, we see it all the time. People commit these atrocious crimes and they're let out on bail. And I'm sure, given the divisiveness in this country, the Republicans are going to try to spin this like it's the Democrats' fault that he got off on such an easy bond. And, it goes both ways. The Democrats are just as bad, though. I mean, hell, the other day, I think it was Biden that called all Trump supporters trash. The divisiveness has to stop. That's part of the reason why we have so much violence in this country, too, is because of all the goddamn political divisiveness. It's like I've said 1,000 times. Both parties need a checkup from the neck up. They need to learn how to get along. They need to start using their brains, and they need to come together to create real change in this country instead of it being one big goddamn dick fighting contest on the congressional floor.
Yes, sir. I do agree. I'm not laughing at I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at you, if you know what I mean. I like the way you express yourself.
Yeah, and thanks, Arctic, because I have a very photographic memory. So I'm automatically seeing two guys out there sword fighting now. Thanks. Oh, boy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Now we're going to see the belly button Slim Jim pictures next. That's coming next.
Right. Lint jerky.
It's coming next. I'm telling you. Either way. But no, you're out. He's absolutely right, though, you guys. He really is. And thank you for the link, Doodle, for that. That's actually a really damn good deal. Damn, guys, I got to show that.
I told you I'm so frugal, and I don't mean to be, but it's just because times are hard for everyone. And I know the struggle. So when I find a deal, I'm like, I got to tell everybody.
This is you know how Doodle is with her Amazon deal. She says it's a deal a day now. It's going to become a thing. But this is the deal she found it was the air fresheners before on Amazon. But check this out. These are hoodies, the quarter zip hoodies. They look really nice and comfortable. Where did the price go on it, dude? It was
it's $7.98, but that gray one right there is $4.99, and at checkout it ends up being $3.69
for this.
For a tactical hoodie. Yep, that gray one right there ended up being $3.69.
Like, that's a deal and a half, folks.
Oh, Tomboy, you want visual? I'll give you visual. Let's face facts. Trump's nearly 80 years old. If he's got his cock out there on the congressional floor trying to have some type of fight, all we're going to see is a shriveled up little orange Cheeto.
Lord have mercy.
I can't. A Cheeto. He is orange. I mean, that's true. But do these all vary in price, Doodle, or are they all the same
Well,
price?
I know I ordered the gray one. That was $4.99 because that was the cheapest, and I was just all about that. But I noticed they have a couple more in those colors that are $4.99. But I know for sure the $4.99 ends up $3.69. I don't know what the $7.99 will end up being.
This is a ridiculously good deal. These are nice, really nice.
And that's up to 5X.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
The price is the same all the way up to 5X. It's $3.69.
Go
That's
look for
crazy.
it. Right? Ain't it? Because I know I'm a bigger guy, and I used to be really bigger, but like 3 and 4X.
That's a great present.
Yeah, and 3 and 4X clothes are usually more because they use more materials, so they make them more expensive. But still, that's insane. That's a good deal, and these are nice. It looks warm, and you can get some of them have different designs, like the flag USA. There's one for a dad, proud dad. Don't let the hard days win. I like some of these colors too. $4, folks. I mean, come on, you can't beat that. You can't find that anywhere. That's a hell of a deal. That's all I'm saying. I think it was standardly. It was like $30 for that, and they dropped it down to that price. That's crazy. Anyway, go check it out. Like I said, Doodle finds us the deal of the day. It's going to become a thing. You're going to have to start doing this every day, Doodle, to find the deal of the day on Amazon. So,
honestly, all I do is get on Amazon. I go up to the top and type in sale, and the 1st thing that pops up, I just keep going through there. And then just because it shows the price cheaper, when you go to checkout, some of them get like a promo discount too.
right. That's I like this one too. And
Yeah,
the gray one. These are great. I like that one too. Damn. Anyway, the link. Hold on. How do I put the link out? Hold on a minute. Is it the same link you dropped? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think so.
You gave me two. Well, the other one is.
Yeah, the other one is a fleece jacket for a female, and it also comes up to $3.69.
No shit. Damn. Nope. Wrong thing. Damn it. I knew I clicked the wrong thing. Hold on. There it is. I think that's it. All right. I posted it in chat for the first one, Tomboy. And then the other one here, ladies. This is kind of nice too. Or men. I'm sure it could be worn by either or.
$3.69. How bad could it be?
Right. This looks really nice. Winter coats for women, fuzzy fleece jacket, hooded color block. There's different colors. Pink, multicolored. These are kind of wild looking. They look comfortable and warm. Again, same price. So I'm going to drop the link in chat for that too if you guys want to go check these out. Thank you, Doodle, very much.
You're welcome.
All right, moving forward. So there have been 3 attempts now. And when the first one happened, I had stated, I think everybody's going to start doing this now. It's going to be a thing because the election's coming up. He's not liked by very many people. And I was surprised it didn't go down when he was in office. I'll be honest with you. I really was. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, I may not agree with certain politicians or other people's ways, but that doesn't mean you take their life. Wait a minute. Okay, this is the 3rd suspect. I knew there was 3 of them. I knew. So that's okay. Here it is. This is the other guy.
A case drawing federal and local attention. The FBI and Secret Service investigating after police arrest a man found with guns, ammunition, and several passports in his car. Now, the Las Vegas Republican says that he had no plans to harm former President Donald Trump.
I have so many allies, out there that know me, that know this is not something that I'm even capable of.
That's Ben Miller speaking with News 3 Today about his arrest and the accusations of a possible third assassination attempt on the former president. Thank you for joining us. I'm Marie Mortera. The 49-year-old denies that claim, and he says he's a Republican and a longtime Trump supporter. He spoke with our Kristen Drummond about what happened over the weekend in California and why there were several passports in his car.
There's the link right there, Miss Barbara, for the women's jacket. It's right below where you stated, how do I get one of those jackets? There's the link. Hopefully it works.
The president was actually at risk. Even if it was 1% of what they said is true, even 1%, I would still be in jail right now.
In his own words, Ben Miller addresses his arrest and assassination attempt accusations against former President Donald Trump at a rally in California over the weekend.
I'm actually a Donald Trump supporter. I'm not an anarchist.
Are you here in Nevada or are you in California?
I would say I'm at an undisclosed location right now. I'm not in Nevada.
Miller says his car remains impounded. Authorities confiscating it after claiming to find guns, ammunition, and fake passports at a routine security checkpoint.
I roll down my window and I say, just out of common courtesy, want to let you know that I have firearms in the car. Usually the police thank you and they love that you respect them enough to actually give them that common courtesy, right? In this instance, no, he asked me to pull over.
Miller sending a photo to News 3 of the citation. Police only listing 2 firearm violations. Nothing about fake IDs. Miller confirming police did find 2 passports in the car with different last names, one issued in the U.S. and the other in Canada where he was born. Court records in Nevada show Miller legally changed his last name in 2022. This followed using several last names over the years, including Yanofkin and Steinberg. Miller says he dropped the Yanofkin to run for state assembly in Nevada in 2022. The registered Republican lost his campaign.
I dropped the Yanofkin based upon the recommendation of 2 individuals that were high up within the Republican Party because nobody could pronounce my Armenian last name.
As for Steinberg, a document says Miller moved to the United States and was issued a passport with that name, even though it's not his legal last name. Miller says he used it to protect himself while covering war zones as an investigative journalist.
Through the passport office, again, lawfully, of course, and I explained to them, hey, I'm about to travel to these regions where my Armenian last name could get me killed. I want a last name that would actually not result in that.
Now he's working to clear his name and planning to take legal action. For News 3, I'm Kristen Drummond.
Okay, so, I mean, he could be, he couldn't be. He could have said all that stuff to clear himself, or he could absolutely be telling the truth. Who knows? But the thing is it's become a problem, okay? And they're gonna look at everybody, especially if you have strange things going on, multiple passports, multiple IDs, handguns, or multiple weapons in your vehicle. If you're going to a rally for somebody that's already had an assassination attempt more than once, at least once, they're going to look at you funny. I mean, it is what it is. It's precautions. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. I do. I get that. That's all I'm saying. So if it wasn't true, then it wasn't true. But they're taking the precautions they need to keep people alive. And that's all I'm saying. So moving on from that, what else do we got going on here today? Let's see. And that sheriff swears up and down. I don't know if that sheriff that did that, he had a press conference. He swears up and down that they thwarted it. They stopped it from happening. And that, people are saying the sheriff's just trying to get in the limelight. Other people are saying that they really did it. So who knows? You take it for what it is. All right, let me see. Nope, we're not covering that one because of... One second here. Oh yeah, here's another one. There is a lot of this kind of stuff popping up in the news here and there, with different variations of it. But okay, so when did this start becoming I mean, let's think back. When did this start becoming an issue? Things like this happening on a regular basis now too. Um, everything is becoming an issue now. Let's see. There's multiple stories about this here, and there was another situation like this that happened too a while back. So I don't know. So moving on. Let's see here. There was where did it go? Give me one moment here, guys. There's a link that was sent to me about something we're going to be talking about here later on, but this is interesting. As soon as I find it again. Here it is. So for those of you that are following the Delphi case, we're going to be talking about it later on, but this is an interesting bit of information to me because, of course, I've followed it. I've carried some of it on this channel. It's kind of interesting to hear this right now. Think about it, to think about it, I should say. Let's see. This came out 3 days ago. For those of you that are watching the trial, following it, so on and so forth, you may know this already, but I just thought, like, wow, that's quite a piece of information.
Tonight on the Delphi Debrief, 2 years after Richard Allen was charged with the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German, the jury in the Delphi murders trial hears from the forensic expert who tried to find DNA evidence at the crime scene. Plus, on Saturday, we heard more testimony from the state police officer who told the jury that Allen said it's over before his arrest. Thanks for inviting us in. This is your Delphi Debrief here on WTHR+. This was day 9 of the Delphi murders trial. In a moment, we'll hear from our legal experts, Katie Jackson-Lindsay. But first, our senior investigative reporter, Bob Siegel, and reporter Emily Longnecker are in Delphi right now. Richard Allen, as you know, is charged in the murders of Abby and Libby 2 years ago. But today we heard there's no DNA evidence connecting Allen to this crime, right?
Yeah, Scott, we got some very technical and very scientific testimony today. One talking about DNA evidence, another talking about blood patterns. It made for a really hard day for both the families and for the jurors in court.
Yeah. So that being said, this has been talked about when I did the shows on it that I did before, but they're stating there's no evidence DNA-wise that links Richard Allen to this crime. How are they still holding this man? Because the only other thing they've had, folks, is a bullet. A bullet. One single bullet that they found in the ground between the two girls where they found their bodies that had been racked in and out of a gun. Never even fired out of the barrel, but that was it. That matched a bullet that matched his gun. Which is a pretty standard gun that a lot of people in this country would own. Okay? And they have this man on trial for these murders with nothing else other than everybody throws this in my face. Well, he made so many confessions. He also made these confessions under duress, which has been talked about during the trial too. But this is from what I've seen, the prosecution on this, it's a joke. I don't understand how they're going to do this. It makes no sense to me. I don't think that they're going to be able to, I mean, I don't think they have enough to do anything with this man. Okay? I really just don't. And somebody told me that too, Robert. I haven't seen that part of it yet to know, but I was also sent an email where it says that the gun didn't match, or the bullet didn't match his gun now. I don't know if that's true or not, folks, because I haven't heard or seen that myself. But if that's the case, then absolutely. What the hell?
And it's a damn shame because these families have been waiting so long to get justice already. Yep. And if they, after all this time, they're putting the wrong man on trial, that's only going to delay. And I hope that they don't do what they do in so many cases and say, oh, well, he didn't get convicted, so we're going to go ahead and close the case because we feel we had the right man.
Well, and guess what? There's got to be enough money to run these investigations. And that's where I'm staying. Arctic's right, guys. I mean, just like it's been talked about with the Idaho 4 case. If Brian Koberger, by some chance, doesn't get convicted of doing that, and it's closed, then it's closed, and there's no other investigation into anybody else because there hasn't been anybody else brought up. There's no justice. There's no justice in these cases. This is insane to me. It really is. Yeah, that's who we're going to look at today, Tomboy, later on. But still, again, guys, there's no justice that comes from these trials or these cases for these victims and their families if we end up in situations like this. I have my own personal opinion. I'll give it to you. I've given it to the other people that were in here before. Hey, Captain Jenks, good to see you, brother. I very highly question, and I have for a long time, Richard Allen as the suspect in this. I just do. Okay. There's a few things with this case, folks, that have me going, okay, 6 years. They have a poster up of this guy that was seen supposedly. 2 different posters, mind you. Only one of them was used for the longest time, but still, this man lives in this area. He lives in Delphi. He works in Delphi. He goes and hangs out in bars in Delphi, and they have this poster up for 6 years. Nobody ever looked at it and said, "Hey, that's you." No, because it doesn't look like him. It doesn't look like Richard Allen at all, as far as I'm concerned. It does look like somebody else that's been brought into this case at some point to me. Okay, but that guy's not in custody. That guy's not been arrested. That guy's not been charged with anything. And again, this is just my opinion, guys. I'm not saying that's who it is, but this is a very strange situation. The judge has acted weird throughout this entire thing. There's a lot of weird situational stuff that has happened with this entire case. And here we are again, where the prosecution is having a real hard time proving that Richard Allen is the one that did this. Meanwhile, they have this man in custody for 2 years, have completely destroyed his life. He's been threatened. He's been harmed in some ways, we've been told. What's going on? Okay, that's all my question is with this. What is going on? And who did this? Truly, who did this? You can't not give these people an answer after all this time, after putting this man through hell. If he didn't do this, and then coming out the end of this and saying, "I'm sorry, we don't have an answer now." Are you kidding me? There's something wrong. That's all I'm saying. There's something wrong. It's probably an issue with YouTube, Phil. You have to watch certain things because they will block or remove certain comments, but I don't think anybody's removing you on purpose. So
if it was political, YouTube grabs it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep. If it was anything political, was it earlier, Phil? Because if it's anything political, YouTube will snatch it.
Right.
I said snatch. That's terrible.
Tomboy's right. 13 months solitary confinement, forced Halidol injections. Yeah, okay. And I believe that those confessions were probably coerced. That's my opinion. I believe because he was threatened at certain points, so on and so forth. I think there's a lot of issues with this, guys. I really do. So
I do too, and I was hoping that it was the right person when they made an arrest because, you know, like Robert Bell said, why wait 5 years to arrest him if you're just going to arrest the wrong guy?
Thank you. Thank you very much. 100%. 100%.
Sure, Phil, as long as it's grape. He said Kool-Aid? I said, yeah, as long as it's grape. I love grape Kool-Aid.
So do I. Exotic, congrats. Welcome back to the sauce, or to the sauce. We appreciate you joining so very much. And thank you for being part of the family. God bless. No worries, Exotic. No worries. So again, there's a lot. Like, I've looked in depth into this. You guys know we've talked about it quite a bit, and there's a lot of questions that have come with this case. You know, too many, and that's I agree with Arctic. Like, these families deserve something. Okay, these girls deserve real justice. Fact. Okay, but the families alone need some form of closure to this, and they're not getting it. Okay, now if they were once again to convict this man of it, and he didn't do it, what does that say? One, that the person that did this is still out there. Two, we're destroying somebody's life for no reason. Okay, so these are problems, guys. These are huge problems. Hey, Kel, good to see you, dear.
I mean, here's what I'm afraid, because look at what happened in both the O.J. Simpson case and the Kaylee Anthony case. So both of them were acquitted. Was anyone ever even remotely looked into after that could have possibly committed these crimes? No, because law enforcement and the DA's offices felt that they had their man. They were acquitted, and no further investigation was done. And I'm afraid that's what's going to happen in the Delphi case.
I agree with you. I agree. Same thing I said about Idaho. If by some chance Brian gets off as well, they're not going to do any more of an investigation, because they haven't on either case. They got their guy. They're done. In turn, that's it. You know, there's not going to be any more monies to provide an investigation. The cases are going to go cold. That's the end of it. You know, families may do some investigating. That's not the way it's going to happen, though. They're not going to find the truth. And this is happening a lot more often than it used to. So, I don't know. I don't know. Okay. You know, I've had people coming to me saying different things about different people with this, you know, putting some heat on Kelsey. I don't know, you guys. I don't truly know anything other than what we've been seeing on this, because there is nothing. Nobody else has put anything else out there that's credible, of course, you know, that makes any sense. So
no.
We can't just come out here and say, well, I think this is what happened and this and that without having facts to back it up. I won't do that. I learned my lesson.
That they need to release more of that that Snapchat footage that's there, because if they release the full duration of it, the likelihood is that someone will recognize the person in the footage and step forward, and the real person can get caught.
Absolutely. And why aren't they doing that? See, that's the thing. When you have information like that, I understand that you like to hold certain things to your chest to protect the integrity of the case. That's great. If you don't have a case and you need to get that information, you got to do things to make that happen, and they're not doing that, in my opinion. So, you know, they're destroying. If Richard Allen is not guilty of this, they have completely and totally destroyed this man's life. He was living a quiet, normal life, working at CBS, had a family. He could never walk away from this, folks. And this is just my opinion, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on this. If he's found innocent of this and you know, he walks away from this, do you think that he's going to go back to living the same life that he lived in Delphi, folks? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, because there are a lot of people that believe that he did this. End of story. He'll be harassed for the rest of his life. He'll have to move, uproot his family, do this, do that, start all over again, when, you know, you don't have to do that, because you're not going to live through this after this. It's just not going to happen. There could be people that go after him because of this, thinking he did it. I'm just saying. They gone all in on one suspect, so if there is an acquittal, the jury got it wrong, tipping the scales for injustice. Yeah, well, I mean, that's what they do. They've done the same thing in both cases, with the Idaho case and this case. I don't know for a fact who did either one of these crimes, whoever committed these crimes. I don't know. We don't know, okay, until we see these trials. If they make it to these trials, or you know, Idaho, of course. But this trial here does not look good for the state at all. From what I've seen, they're having a very hard time at proving something, at proving that he did this. That's how I'm seeing it. And I think the defense has quite a bit of defense for this and against what they've done already. It's weak at most, okay? And it's been that way since Alan was arrested. They've never really had anything on him. So I just don't even know what to think with either one of these cases. But that was the most important thing I wanted you guys to hear from this, is that there is absolutely no DNA that links Richard Allen to the Delphi murders. That's kind of hard to believe, that this man went in, killed these two girls, and didn't leave any DNA on himself, there, and didn't take any DNA from the crime scene with him. Who believes that? I don't. Sorry, but I don't. I don't. And they have no other evidence from the man's home, from anything in his life that puts him at this crime scene. And he did this by himself, mind you, according to what they've said. He was able to do everything that was involved in this crime against these two girls by himself. I don't think so. I don't think so, because I don't think where the girls were found was the crime scene, first of all. Okay. I think that the crime was committed and they were staged there. This is, again, just an opinion I have, folks. You don't have to agree with me. But again, do you realize how hard it would be to do stuff like this and to keep all of you out of that scene, doing all that work, and then keep all of them and all their DNA off of you? I just struggle with this. I really, really do. And I don't think, in my heart of hearts, and I've tried to break this down in my mind a few different times, I don't think he did this. I just don't. Why he's been put in place for this, I don't know. How? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but I just don't think he did it. No, there were nothing. Richard Allen didn't do anything else. He has no other record in that sense like that. But there are others that do, that were actually looked at slightly, but then they walked away from them. Why? That's weird to me too. Okay? I'm just saying that's weird to me. So, what did you say there, Walt? Next thing you know, creators will be making up witnesses from their basement in suburban Gary, Indiana, allegedly. Yes. 100%. Try to block out the noise and find non-biased cover. It's very hard. It is very hard, Kel. I tried to stay non-biased in certain cases. There was no way in hell that I could not be biased in Leilani Simon and Sarah Boone's case. I tried. I can't. You know what I mean? It's one of them things. And I have tried to stay in the middle with Delphi, and I've also tried to stay in the middle with Idaho. I've done pretty good with it so far, but I lean in certain directions in both cases. I'm not all the way over there, but I am leaning in certain directions. I'll say that much because of what I've seen or heard. So I just don't know. 1 second.
Wake up.
Sorry about that. I don't know. Any thoughts or comments besides what you guys have said already, Doodle or Arctic?
No, I don't have anything.
I got nothing.
Yeah. I don't know, guys. It's hard to look at this and go along with what they're doing with it. That's all. Okay, so I do have another one here real quick. I don't know how many of you guys are TikTokers as well. Let me show you something real quick. I know who she is, but
I got banned for life from TikTok like 3 times already because I share missing flyers, and they always say that I'm showing too much information. Yeah, I have to give their name and what state they live in because it's a missing flyer.
Yeah, that's weird. TikTok has weird rules. That's why I've never really gone over there to do a lot.
But it's perfectly fine for TikTok to show kids stealing cars with doing the Kia Soul Challenge and showing 14, 12-year-old girls dancing on poles like strippers. That's perfectly okay.
Oh, yeah, right.
or worse. I've seen worse. I've seen half naked people and things like that too. So it's quite odd the way their rules are. But this is a story. This is a TikToker that went missing a while back, and I remember when she went missing. So I kind of wanted to show this real quick here. One second.
Mom seemingly vanished after a Walmart shopping trip, and her last sign of life was this really eerie message that was sent from her phone to her boyfriend the night she disappeared. But then you fast forward 1 week after her disappearance, and her body was found. With her alleged killer now behind bars, we're going to break down the complexities of this case with criminal defense attorney Meg Strickler. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. We have a really, really tragic situation that we want to talk to you about out of Georgia, and a strange one, too. So we're talking about 25-year-old fitness TikToker, Manelis Zoe Rodriguez Ramirez, called Mimi by her friends and family. She went on a shopping trip to Walmart that she never returned from. Her fiance says that he received a suspicious text from her phone just days before she was found dead near that Walmart store in Cornelia, Georgia. This is a small town that's northeast of Atlanta. On the night of October 22nd, Manelis reportedly went to the Walmart to sell someone a photo she had taken. Not entirely clear what that was about, but according to a cashier, Manelis entered the store at around 9:30 p.m. and she was texting her fiance, Julio Tover, while she was in the store. Eventually, Tover went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and saw that she hadn't come home. And when he checks his phone, he sees this text message reportedly from Manelis' phone that just didn't look right to him. It read, "I am waiting for the brother to pick him up." Now, Tovar told the news outlet Now Habersham that this made him kind of suspicious because Manelis didn't really talk like that. So a search was launched that same day, and authorities began to uncover clues as to what happened to this missing mother. Well, first of all, they found Manelis' vehicle pulled over to the side of the road near that Walmart on Hazel Creek Road. Then, according to Now Habersham, witnesses told them that they saw a dark-colored SUV and a gold or yellow minivan next to Manelis' vehicle at some point in time. Then, a few days later, and before they had even found her body, authorities arrested this man, 24-year-old Angel de Jesus Rivera Sanchez, on charges of kidnapping related to Manelis' disappearance. And it was just 1 day after this that the search for Manelis came to a tragic end. Police discovered her remains in a remote area across from that Walmart. Officials said they were able to identify her by her very distinctive tattoos. Now, obviously, there are many unanswered questions here. First of all, it's unclear who she was actually meeting up with at this Walmart. Second, we don't know if her alleged encounter was with this suspect, was it with somebody else, was this random? Was there any kind of connection between her and the person who has been arrested? And we also don't know the cause or the manner of Manelis' death yet, as we're waiting for the GBI medical examiner's office to release the findings of that autopsy. But what we do know is that following the discovery of her remains, the GBI indicated that they intend to hold Rivera Sanchez accountable for this crime. According to their official press release, Angel de Jesus Rivera Sanchez, 24, also of Cornelia, will be charged with murder in connection to Rodriguez Ramirez's death. He was booked into the Habersham County Detention Center. He could be facing more charges. We'll see. And Manelis, though, I will tell you, she had more than 20,000 followers on TikTok. That's substantial. And she regularly posted on the app, including on the day that she went missing. And I mentioned that she's a mother. She was the mother of a 9-year-old daughter, and she had moved to Georgia from Puerto Rico 6 years ago after being offered a job at a manufacturing company, Mountain Vernon Hills, Inc. Her fiance told Habersham Now that Manelis treasured her daughter, talked about her often. In one video posted just days before her disappearance, she even spoke of her dreams for her. So you're just seeing this is a really, really sad situation and a strange one. Hey, by the way, thank you for staying with us as we cover this story. I know it's not an easy one to hear, but it is an important one, and we always appreciate that. And look, I got to call out our sponsors because it's with their support that we're able to continue to do this. And with that, I got to highlight our incredible partner. This area where this happened, talk to me what you know about it or don't know about it.
Yeah, it's up in the northeast corner of Georgia. And yeah, I've been practicing here in Georgia for, a good minute. So I've been to this county a few times. I don't want to say a lot of times. And I had to look it up again. We have 158 counties in this state. So when I'm called about a client, I almost always whip out my map to see where this is. So it's rural. It's a bit, we call it mountainous. I know other states might giggle over that, but it's in the Georgia foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So we call it mountains because in Atlanta it's flat. So it's a very pretty area. There's some pretty falls there, but it is a small town. So the fact that they're all from the same town makes me think there's much more to this story than what we're initially hearing. She perhaps knew this individual.
What do you think is going on here? I mean, the idea of going to Walmart to sell a photo, she winds up dead. There's the weird text message. What are you thinking?
I can guarantee the Celebrate report that's taken from her phone and from the individual who's arrested's phone is going to be pivotal here, because there's GPS coordinates on our phone. There's GPS coordinates. There's our text messages. There's the TikTok messages. There's the Instagram messages. There's all the direct messages. That's on the phone, and they can download it into a 100,000 page document and then search on it. So this will be, I think, the key. Okay. Also, the car that was found abandoned, if it's a newer car, there's like a black box on cars these days. So it'll tell you the coordinates of where the car had been. Not all cars have it yet, but we're in 2024. We're getting there. So I didn't read in any part of the research in this case, how old the car was or these kinds of things. But that's what the GBI is doing right now. And also video. There's videos everywhere. Walmart parking lots, you better believe there's video. And also, I didn't understand we're selling a photo. There's more to that story too. Well, what does that even mean? I don't understand that part.
The fact that her body was found a week later and it was so close to the Walmart, is that strange to you?
That is strange and very, very sad. I don't understand that. And maybe there was something like a red herring that made law enforcement look over here and didn't think to look over here. That happens in investigations. They have an investigative thread and they just keep going down that thread, and they didn't think to look over here. That's the only thing I can think of, is that they were really focusing on something else. And then when they started to realize it was this individual, they started looking over here. And you notice the time frame. He's arrested, and the next day they find her remains. There's some, my guess is some information they were able to ascertain from him.
From him, right? Because so he's brought up on kidnapping charges, then her body's found, and now there's talk about him being charged with murder. You think he might have revealed something?
Yeah, or his phone again, or family members, or just more talking to folks. I mean, we don't know. Who knows? Because you remember, the law enforcement's canvassing. So they went to the Walmart and they're talking to employees, and perhaps maybe some employee that hadn't worked that day when law enforcement came now returned the call to the GBI investigator. You really don't know what tipped it. But I mean, you and I could both guess. I think it was he who, when spoken to, accidentally let something slip. As you know, and I know both, that the worst thing to do is to talk. Just when you're a defendant.
Well, I mean, from a prosecutor's point of view and a law enforcement point of view, they love a suspect to talk. I did find it strange. So the cashier says that she entered the Walmart, but then, Manelis's car is found on the side of the road, not in the parking lot. What do you make of that?
Yeah, that's the part where I think the video surveillance may be very helpful, because there's cameras within Walmart. So we might see her here, here, and here. We're going to look for the receipts, the cashier receipts. Did she check out? Did she drive somewhere? There's a big mystery there. Or did the person that was arrested move her car once she was murdered to try to throw off investigators? And that even shows that if that is the case and it's proven, then that makes this gentleman, that case, much more difficult to defend, because it's showing intent with respect to murdering her, but then intent to cover it up. And no one can argue any kind of heat of the moment or anything like this if you went ahead and cleaned up after yourself. Makes it look much more awful.
I have to ask you about this text message, right? So Mr. Tover goes to sleep, wakes up the next morning, sees that Nelson's not home, checks his phone, and then he sees this text message that is apparently from Nelson's phone, but of course we don't know if it was from her, if it was from somebody else. And again, I'm going to reiterate it, I'm waiting for the brother to pick him up. I find that to be a strange aspect of that story. I don't know even what that means.
Well, I have a suspicion that it will mean something, because Tover pointed it out, because it's out in the media, and because it's so bizarre. We all text amongst each other, and there are times we might text something like by accident to, I might text you when I'm meant to text my daughter. These things occur, but then there's context with whom I'm supposed to be texting. So I don't think that's what occurred. I think she was talking in some sort of code to try to help, that I'm in trouble here, please help. That's how I read it. Doesn't mean I'm right.
And by the way, going back to the car, because there's so many different aspects of the story, I don't even know what I want to focus on first, but the car, right? So it ends up on the side of the road, and witnesses say they saw other vehicles alongside it. You mentioned surveillance footage. What do you think's happening there in trying to identify who those vehicles are, who was driving them, right? I imagine that's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, and hopefully this is in a more active part of the town. When you get into rural Georgia, there are parts, where the roads are doing this, and there's trees, and there's houses that are far away. If it's in that part, we're not going to have too many cameras. But if it's in where the town square is, so to speak, there's going, and where Sitcos are, and where Quick Trips are, or whatever, that's what our gas stations are called down here. There could very well be some surveillance from the gas stations, from residences, their Ring doorbells. They're knocking on every door for the entire route. They're mapping out the route on a big board. And I kid you not, they do that, and they go and they say, okay, let's see who might have video surveillance, and they run out immediately to try to get that, because all of the companies out there will recycle the video. So then they sometimes it gets deleted. So that's like one of the first things they do, is to go knock on people's doors, so to speak, especially residences. When we have just your basic rings, that video is going to get disappeared more quickly than, say, a commercial business. So that's step one. Step two is to run the VINs on all those cars. Who do they belong to? And then go contact them. I mean, it's a lot of legwork, but that's what law enforcement does. And they're going to get all of this and put it into a big pile and say, okay, what do we have on this tapestry?
Welcome,
What is
mystery.
it we drawn? And what do we know? And then the key part is they've got to start getting to the point of trial, which will be 3 years from now, getting the evidence today while it's still fresh. That's the key pivotal part. And it's a lot of stress and work on law enforcement. And they usually do a really good job.
I wanted to ask you this about the fact that he might be charged with murder, right? So what are the requirements to charge somebody with murder in this kind of situation? Is it multiple charges of murder? Would they be charged with first-degree murder? Would they be charged with felony murder? So if it was killing during the course of a kidnapping? Talk to me about what we can expect there.
Yeah, it's a good question. And that is, again, down the line. Right now, they're arresting charges. So there's going to be murder. He's going to be put in jail, and he probably won't be able to bond out because those charges are not bondable. And he can get out if he's got a great lawyer who can argue that he'll be fine on bond. It's a rarity with murder. It can occur, but it's a rarity. So I don't think he's getting out. But what you're asking is when it's formally charged in an indictment, and that's kind of a strategical decision on the prosecutor's part. Do they want to stack the charges and have like 15 charges, like you said? Could be abuse of corpse. It could be the kidnapping. Could be felony murder. Could be aggravated assault. Could be aggravated battery. I mean, we don't know what does the body show? Like, how was she murdered? I mean, are there bullets? Is there strangulation? Is there suffocation? I mean, we don't know those details. But when all those come, the prosecutor decides, I mean, honestly, how they're going to secure a conviction, which charges will really work. And each prosecutor's office marches to a different drummer. Some love to add 1 billion. Okay, because then as a defense lawyer, as a juror, they're like, oh, they're guilty. They have 42 charges. Some like to just charge 1. And it really is kind of I don't even know how to describe it. Sometimes it just depends. I know that's not really a great answer, but it's the truth.
Well, let me ask you this. What about the idea of when we're going to get more information about what happened to her? How does the GBI usually work? How do they work in terms of releasing information about her cause of death? I'm sure the family would be notified before the general public and the media, but what can we expect and when can we expect it?
There should be a preliminary hearing scheduled at some point. I did not Google that to find out if that's been scheduled yet, but since he is arrested and he won't get out on bond, there should be a preliminary hearing. That's what happens here in Georgia. Every state's different. I'm licensed in a couple of states. So here in Georgia, we do a thing called a preliminary hearing, probable cause hearing, same term of art. And if the lawyer who represents him says, I want to have the preliminary hearing, we love those because we can then do like information gathering. That's what I want.
Defense attorneys love that.
Yes. We love those because we're able to, and I won't say bend the rules, but I try my hardest to limit the discovery right then and there. So I'll ask the detective video, audio, these kinds of things. I get them to limit themselves on formal testimony so that then when I go back at trial 3 years later, I can then cross-examine him and impeach him on what he said earlier on. I know I'm getting too intricate here, but it is one of my favorite things to do. And in my career, I wish we had more of them, but it is what it is. With that said, sometimes we waive them. And that seems to be more the norm today, so it won't happen. So you're asking when will we get information? If a prelim is had, we're going to get some good data, some information, some hows, wheres, and whats.
Why would someone waive it?
Well, a lot of times, not necessarily murder, but other cases a little lower. We waive it because the prosecutor holds it against us. I'm just giving my personal opinion. I'm very cynical towards prosecution, as you hear me. That they'll waive. We will waive it because they'll say, "I'll let your guy out in bond if you waive the prelim." Okay, fine, I waive it. I mean, easy breezy. In murder cases, sometimes we may waive it if there's something else going on that the prosecutor, we kind of agree this is the better way of doing it. And so it's behind the scenes, another strategical decision on our part, whether or not to waive it.
Well, talking about behind the scenes, I'll let everybody know the GBI is still seeking answers in this case. They're urging anybody with information to contact their tip line. So we're going to put the number on the screen there for you in case you have any information. And you can also submit any tips online at the GBI's official website page. We're obviously going to have more updates for you in this investigation as it develops because it's so strange. It's very eerie, very sad. Meg Strickler, thank you so much for coming on, breaking it down for us. Really, really appreciate your perspective and your expertise on this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you.
So again, I don't know if anybody knew who she was, but I thought that was an interesting case. It's a little bit of a strange situation in how it all went down, So there is that story. We're about to the end of the day. I do have, let's see here. Let's see here. Doodle said she got her morning show shirt. That's awesome. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's good. The print is really well on those.
That's what I was hoping for. That's what we like. The True Crime Cafe ones are really good. So I was hoping that these would be too. Good to hear. I'll get one eventually. We may have to be. We're probably going to be reworking that a little bit too, because I got Molly working on an avatar for Arctic, and hopefully we can add him to the banner and so on and so forth, and have another print or another design, I should say, which I'm excited about, of course. So, where the hell is this other story I was trying to? Where did it go? Here it is. I know some of these things are. We were just talking about this the other day. Arctic was actually brought it up about how many different recalls there have been on food for E. coli, this, that, listeria, so on and so forth. Well, we got another one, guys. E. coli outbreak linked to onions served at McDonald's. So for those of you that still eat at McDonald's, there's very few people that still do because their food is so gross. Looks like new as of 10:30, fresh slivered onions served on quarter pounders and other menu items from McDonald's are the likely source of this outbreak. More illnesses have been reported, but they are from before McDonald's and Taylor Farms took action to remove the onions from food service locations. Due to the product actions taken by both companies, the CDC believes the risk to the public is very low, which is good. Let's see the situation summary. CDC, FDA, USDA, FSIS, and public health officials in multiple states are investigating an outbreak of E. coli infections. Most people in this outbreak are reporting eating the quarter pounder hamburger at McDonald's before becoming sick, which we kind of looked at this the other day slightly. McDonald's stopped using slivered onions on the quarter pounder hamburger in some states to try to prevent more people from getting sick. Oh my God, I hate when I have to work this out. Epidemiologic, there's a way to say it. I'm not saying it right, but anyway, that word and traceback information show that fresh slivered onions are the likely source of the illness in this outbreak. Taylor Farms, the supplier of the onions to the affected McDonald's locations, also recalled the onions. Food service businesses were contacted directly by Taylor Farms. The likelihood of contaminated onions are still being available for sale is low. It's not giving me most sick people in the outbreak reported eating a McDonald's menu item containing the fresh onions before they got sick. McDonald's pulled the fresh onions, as we stated, and the fresh quarter pound beef patty, as well as specific food ingredient was being determined as the source of illness. That likely source is now believed to be those onions. So, the onions were the only distributed food service business only distributed to food service businesses such as restaurants. It is not likely that recalled onions went to grocery stores or directly to consumers. Oh my God, I wonder. I gotta have to talk to my son, because he just had 3 days ago, these exact symptoms, except for these bottom ones. And he eats McDonald's a lot. And he usually gets a quarter pounder. Most people infected with the toxin producing E. coli experience severe stomach cramps, diarrhea, often bloody, and vomiting. Symptoms usually start 3 to 4 days after swallowing the bacteria. Most people recover without treatment in 5 to 7 days. Some people may develop serious kidney problems. That's not cool. And need to be hospitalized. So be careful, folks, with McDonald's if you've been there recently. Please. The investigation start date was October 22nd, and it's still open. So 13 states are involved. There's been 1 death, 27 hospitalizations, and 90 cases. 15 of them are new. 5 of the hospitalizations are new. So it's still rolling. Right, but it still could have been E. coli, Alicia, is what I'm saying, because he had the same exact symptoms. It doesn't have to be from that specific, you know what I mean? There's been so many different things going on with E. coli lately. I don't know. Dardick, you were talking about that the other day, remember?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's always some type of recall. I mean, there's been recalls on meat. There's been recalls on our vegetables. Now it's onions. It was apples before because of the pesticides. Every time you turn around, it's a recall on something. So no matter what you do to try to be healthy, you're gonna get hit with something. So
Very much so. Very much so. So I just giving you guys a heads up, just in case you fell into that realm, maybe. But being that they've been pulled, I highly doubt that it's going to happen. So
yeah, I don't eat raw onion anyway. I can deal with it if it's cooked, but I cannot stand raw onion at all.
I love it, but I don't eat at McDonald's. So the only thing I truly will eat at McDonald's, if I get a chance to, I like their breakfast. So that's about it. Anything I eat from McDonald's, I'll be honest with you, causes diarrhea. Truly, it hits your stomach like bad stuff. So I just don't eat it. I haven't in a long time. Let's see here. It is time for that time. Let's see here. All right, moving forward. Let's see what we got to throw out there to throw a smile on everybody's face today. Oh, don't get me wrong. I used to love McDonald's. The older I got, the harder it was to process in my body. And just,
Well, see, I liked Carl's Jr., but then they closed the Carl's Jr. that we had in town down. I like Burger King because they flame grill their stuff. But, I mean, as far as McDonald's goes, shit, I go there. If I do go there, it's to get chicken nuggets because they do have some of the best chicken nuggets.
Agreed with that one, yes. I don't like McBurger King's chicken, whatever those things are. They're okay, but no. McDonald's do have the best McNuggets as far as I'm concerned. I don't know why, but I love them. I haven't been like McDonald's always was when I was a kid. It was a thing, you know, it was great. But as I got older, it was just a last minute, quick stop, last ditch effort to get food. It's become very not good. So Burger King, I do love Burger King. Taco Bell, I like, but Taco Bell has become way too expensive when it used to be the cheapest one. Wendy's is being shut down around here, and Arby's is a staple around this area because we don't have many things. So, but it gets old, and we can't really afford takeout too often anymore. Everything's so damn expensive, it's ridiculous. So,
oh, I know. I mean, I love Whataburger, but I went to order Whataburger the other day, and one burger was going to be like $13. I was like, "Are you on crack?" I was like, "I'm not paying $13 for a fucking hamburger."
That's crazy. Like I said, everything's too expensive now, you know? Yeah, I'm with you. I actually like the sweet and sour and honey. I like to dip the nuggets in honey too. It's really good. Make myself hungry. See, I saw that advertised and I just turned my head sideways like, what? I saw the picture of it. It just doesn't look good to me, but you're saying it's delicious. The chicken Big Mac is delicious. It's a McChicken and a Big Mac smashed together. I can't imagine how that could be good. Those are two different. I don't know. That's weird to me. And you know that's weird that they're actually putting that on the menu where you can see it now. That's been on their menu as like their mystery menu for a long time. There's a bunch of stuff that you can get that I found out about 10 years ago that is on the McDonald's menu that they don't put out there. A double fillet of fish. There's something called a land, air, and sea burger, which is a fish burger and a chicken sandwich you can get. There's a bunch of other things that are on this menu that they don't advertise, but you can get it if you know about it. It's weird. Hey, Undead, good to see you. Wonderful to have you here. We've missed you. Yeah, Taco Bell had an issue. I don't know how many of you guys remember Chi-Chi's. I think it was Chi-Chi's. It was a Mexican place we had around here. They had really good food, but they had a very bad issue with their onions. It was so bad that it shut the whole company down. Everybody, they went out of business. It was that bad. So
Yep, I remember that. We used to have a Chi-Chi's in Oklahoma City, and I remember when it got shut down.
It was because I loved their food. I would get their seafood burrito when we would go there. It was really damn good. And they had certain other things that were really good too. And that happened, and so many people got sick. There was lawsuits, and it ended the company. It was the end of it. So, yeah, I like their fillet of fish too. I will say this: between Burger King and Arby's are the two best fillet of fish sandwiches you can get, in my opinion. When they have them, they're only seasonal. I'm pretty sure they only carry Burger King has theirs all year round, but Arby's only carries theirs for Lent in the spring. So. I don't know.
Popeye's fish sandwich is pretty good too.
I didn't know they had one.
Yep.
We lost our Popeyes that we had around here. We have Cane's now, which I don't think is really that good. Caden loves it. He goes there with his friends all the time. But Cane's to me is just it.
You know what else is good? Catching yourself a big old catfish, going home, cleaning that thing up, dipping that in some flour. Dip that in some hot grease.
Yes, ma'am.
Today's my first day back to real food, so I'm having sloppy joes.
There you go. There you go. Be careful. That's a little spicy.
Yeah, I know. I'll probably pay for it later.
That's okay. That's okay. It'll be worth it though. What you just said about the catfish though, that's killing me because I love fresh catfish. I love it. I love it. Yeah, Cane's is ridiculous. It's all it is chicken strips and crinkle fries and some coleslaw. That's what you pretty much get with everything you get from Cane's. And the chicken strips aren't that great. There ain't no better than anything.
But I do like the cane sauce, but not with their chicken strips.
Yeah, the sauce is good. I will give you that much. That's good. I'm not a fan of theirs. I'm not a fan of that other damn chicken place. What the hell is it called? It's popular with the kids mostly, but Chick-fil-A. I don't like Chick-fil-A. I don't like Cane's. I don't like Chick-fil-A. I don't like Popeyes is okay. Their chicken is okay. I don't like their sides. And there's one other place too. It's Church's. That's pretty good. Church's chicken is not bad, but we don't have it around here.
Yeah, see, I'm not a Chick-fil-A fan either. To me, their chicken's just so dry, and unless you drench it with their sauce, it's almost inedible to me.
Yep.
I have never had Chick-fil-A. I have never had that Cane's. I have never ate at Wendy's. None of that stuff. No Whataburger. None of that.
Yeah, I've never had Whataburger either. I always wanted to try it. We don't have it around here.
We don't either.
Or that other burger
Probably
place.
You have at least a Sonic.
Yeah, we have a Sonic. We're getting a Chick-fil-A that's being built, but even Starbucks, I've never even been there. I refuse to pay that much for a cup of coffee. I'm not doing it. I'm frugal. I'm not doing it. I'll make my own.
I get it. Yeah, I'm not a big chicken fan anymore either. I'm burnt out on chicken, truly. My favorite chicken place always was, and probably forever will be, was KFC. I loved their chicken, the extra crispy stuff. But our Sonic, we don't have a Sonic around here. I've always wanted to try their Sonics. Different, I've seen the commercials, but, I've never been able to get anything around here.
Oh, wow. We have Sonics everywhere around us.
Really, Sonic's not too bad if you order off of their value menu. That's the only way I go there is as I order off the value menu and get the cheap stuff.
They're probably expensive. I miss Arthur Treacher's. Cap, we don't have those anymore. Long John's we have, but I can't eat it anymore because it's nothing but like pure grease and crap. I love it. I used to love it, the taste of all that stuff, and now if I try to eat it within 20 minutes, I'm not good. My stomach is done.
Boy says they're getting a Pluckers. I don't know what a Pluckers is, but
that's a chicken place. I've seen the commercial for it.
Oh, okay. I like the name. It's kind of funny.
I really miss Hardee's. Really bad.
Oh goodness, I'm so over Hardee's. That's all we have around here is like Hardee's, Sonic, McDonald's. Ugh, I'm over it.
I heard Hardee's and Carl's Jr. were filing for bankruptcy here a while back.
I heard that too.
I don't know. Ours barely gets business. I don't even know why the doors are open.
Well, I'll trade you Arby's for Hardee's then.
We have an
They're closing our Red Lobster down because Red Lobster apparently is having some financial troubles. So they had a big thing that our Red Lobster was going to get shut down.
Huh. I've never been there either, but I've always wanted to.
I've been there. I found out I had a shellfish allergy there.
Oh no, that's your luck.
I ordered calamari. which is not typically a shellfish, but they fry all their stuff in the same oil. Okay. And my wife and I went there on just a date night thing. We were going to the movies. As funny as it is, the movie we went to see matched what I went through that night. It was when Hitch first came out with Will Smith and Kevin James. We went to the theater to see that, and we went to Red Lobster first. I ordered calamari. That was our little appetizer thing. I ate that, and then I just ordered like fish. I can't remember what kind of fish, and the fish was fine. But I ate 3 or 4 pieces of the calamari, and I started getting the scratchy throat, and I got welts all up behind my ears. By the time we're sitting in the theater, I'm sitting there going, ha, 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 scratching my throat, and my ear welted up. My wife was like, oh, my God. Well, the movie we're watching, in the movie, Will Smith ate something, and he had an allergy to it, and he's sitting there swelling up and all that in the same senses, per se, and was drinking Benadryl till he was drunk, basically, off of it. It was just a weird situational thing that happened. And that's how I realized that I can't eat shellfish. I went to the doctor. They tested me for it. Which pissed me off because I love shrimp, stuff like that. Well, because when I lived in Florida, I ate so much of it. I think the iodine got to my system somehow and created an allergy, is what the doctor said. So Jack in the Box is absolutely amazing. I love their burgers. Yeah, I love seafood too. It kills me. I can eat fish and I can eat some shrimp here and there, but I have to watch because if I eat too much of it, I start to get that feeling. So I can eat a little bit of shellfish and stuff, but seafood's my favorite food, period. I love it. I could eat it all day long, every day. But
see, that's me with coconut and bananas. I can have just a tiny little bit, but if I eat too much, I'll break out in hives.
Yep. I get it. And I was so pissed off when I found out I was allergic to it. I'm like, are you kidding me? It was like, listen, I'm not saying, like, you're not deathly allergic to it. It's not going to kill you immediately when you eat it. He goes, but you got to go easy. If you can have a little bit of it here or there from time to time, see how it goes. And I've tested the waters. I've tested it all the way to the point where I'm back to the welted up, behind the ears and the neck and scratches there on the arms and scratching the throat. And I figured out just the right amount that I can have before I have to stop. So, you never had a Roman burger in your life? Oh my God, those were good. Who the hell had those?
What is a Roman burger?
It was a not Mr. Hero. It was another place kind of like that. Who made the Roman burgers? Damn it, I can't remember. Mr. Hero.
I've never even heard of it.
I can't remember what. Shit. Who had it? Damn it! It's like a hamburger, but it's on a long bun. It's more like a hoagie. Oh, sorry, Tomboy. Who makes the Roman burger, Kelly? Well, that's another one of my favorite places is Mr. Hero. They make the very best hot buttered beefsteak. It's a hot buttered steak something. I can't think of how to say it. Anyway, you get that sandwich and you get the waffle fries with the cheese cup. It's amazing.
Sounds good.
Oh, it's so good. That's Mr. Hero. But who made the damn Roman burger? We had them around here for a while and then they just disappeared. Shit. Somebody help me out here in the chat. Who makes the Roman burger or made it? It was pretty good. They disappeared probably about 20 years ago. Is it Mr. Hero? Did they do the Roman burger too? Maybe they did.
I just looked it up. It says the Roman burger at Mr. Hero is a must-have for burger fans.
Okay, then yeah, maybe it was that. I just stopped getting it when I was a kid and started as soon as I had the cheesesteak. Nothing else existed to me there. If you get the hot buttered cheesesteak, it's something. It's guys, I'm telling you, if you have a Mr. Hero, go. It's a little expensive, but yeah. That's my favorite from Arby's is the French dip sandwich with the au jus you dip it in. I love that. I love it. Rax. The hell is Rax? I've never heard of that. So yeah, the Roman burger. Roman burgers are good too, but it don't hold a candle to that cheesesteak thing. Walt. All right, guys, let's check this stuff out here and see what we got going on.
Stop it. No. Are you just leading? Get off my car. Get off her car. Get off of her car. Move on up, Krista. Krista, don't move up. Come on. You're sitting on her car. I'm not sitting on her car. I'm leaning on it. Krista. There's 2 spots open right there. You really hate your life, don't you? To be hating. No, I love my life, and I have my brand new grandbaby in there who we're trying to take for a walk. Okay, get your grandbaby then. Spots right here. Can you get off her car? Ma'am, yes, you are. Come on. 2 spots opening. Get off her car. No. There's 2 spots. Your right spot. Get off her car. Please back up, Krista. This is your right spot. There's 2 spots. Just move. Get in your damn car. Stop getting. Don't sit on her car.
Right now, your ass is grass.
Right.
Do you understand? And if you so be looking out for this. All right, I will. I'll be looking out for this. Sheltered in place. Go ahead, put me on social media. You're a little pup. Seriously? Seriously, I called the cops. I can't.
Wow, I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
Hey, okay? They can't feed their family.
It doesn't matter. He's out here.
It does matter.
He's out here trying to make a living.
I don't want him in my neighborhood. You go to Indian Wells, you don't see lawlessness.
It doesn't matter. Then call the cops.
It brings down quality of life.
You're not a police officer. You're not a police officer.
Excuse me, I'm a citizen. I have a right to speak. I have a right to speak.
Deal with that.
So let the cops are coming. Go ahead.
Let the cops.
The cops are coming.
You need to stop harassing this man. That's harassing. You need to stop harassing him.
Karen.
Stop harassing him.
You live in Indio, Karen.
Get your bag out there.
No, I'm not moving it.
And we won't pull over your car either.
What?
I'm calling the
You're calling the police because I took your spot? Okay.
There's a law and law against that now. You can't be doing that.
I can't take a parking spot?
Not when I have this.
Why don't you park in a handicap spot? This is not a handicap spot. Okay, there is a spot literally right there. Park in the spot right next to it. Tell me to shut up again. Tell me to shut up again.
You're in trouble. Get away from me. Oh, get away from me. He put his hands on me. You're trouble. Get away from me. I'm calling 911. Come here. Look at him. He's not. Here. Get out of here. Double. Yeah, you're going to be arrested and put in jail. You're going to leave your husband to prison cell. Yeah, you will. We get the jail. Don't come near me. Tell them to get away from me. Get. I want you to forget that I'm here. It's been an hour and a half, for goodness sake.
Submit this to Karen. It's going wild.
You call this good service? Excuse me?
You don't know how to drive. You're ugly. Oh, God. Ooh.
This is going right to the leasing office. This is going right to the leasing office.
I was that kid when I was a skateboarder. People did not like me.
I would have plowed right through that woman.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We had a lot of those.
This is the problem. See, back in the day when this shit happened, you could push her out of the way, or I hate to even be that way, but listen, this shit right here, I don't have patience for. There's no need for this woman to stand in front of him. There is no need for this crap. But you can bet she does this to everyone she sees.
100%.
It's terrible.
We used to have a landlord at the apartment complex that Austin and I used to live at, and that woman was impossible. If the kids went out to play basketball, she bitched. If they went to swim, she bitched. If they played with a Nerf football out in the courtyard, she bitched. She bitched about everything.
She didn't like kids. That's just usually how that works out. Mm-hmm. See, we used to skate through downtown. There was a few times we've skated in places we shouldn't have, but we were responsible. We didn't damage people's property. We didn't run into people. We stayed out of people's ways when they were walking. We had people that just didn't want us doing it. I don't care if we were in a parking lot, on a sidewalk. Now, the one thing a couple of times we did do, like, we would grind on like handrails and stuff like that for a couple places. One time we did it at a church, and that one I feel bad for because we scraped the shit out of the handrail on there, and you know, it's not our property. So that was when I was younger. But there were people like this woman that would get right in our face, would try to take our skateboards from us. One guy came through and grabbed the board off of my buddy and broke it in half. None of that stuff was we weren't bothering anybody. You know what I mean? We were doing that kind of stuff rather than out doing drugs or out doing other stupid shit. That's what we were doing. And they just didn't care. So at some point we got together, and a lot of our parents got together and built a skate park in an empty warehouse that we had downtown. And that's where we all spent most of our time after that. And they still bothered us. If they seen us anywhere on a skateboard, they were calling the police. And a couple of the police officers we had, their kids were skaters. So it was like, you know, we got lucky on some hand.
Because these kids are willing to leave. I wouldn't. I would be doing every trick all day that lady stood there. I would be standing there doing my thing with my skateboard. She wouldn't stop me.
Yep. This woman is just being an asshole to be an asshole, in my opinion. But yeah, I remember these days. I miss these days. Kind of funny, but now we did have a guy. This was so cute. He was an older guy. To us, we were like 17, 16. He was probably in his 50s. He started off being like bitchy with us. He owned a business, and we would always skate in his parking lot because it dipped in certain parts, and he had the car stoppers. I can't think of what the hell they're called. And we used to grind on those all the time. We do truck slides on different parts of his landscaping stuff, and we didn't tear anything up. And that's what he said. He goes, as long as you guys aren't like messing with my customers and you're not tearing up my property, he goes, just be careful. I don't want to get sued, this and that. And of course, we wouldn't do that, but that's what a lot of those people was. But anyway, he come out one day at lunchtime. He was dead. He was like, let me see one of them boards. And we thought he was going to take it from us. My buddy handed it over, and he got on the damn skateboard and was trying to do. I'm like, whoa, be careful. You don't want to get sued either, boss. You know, it was a joke, but he was cute because he started messing around with the skateboard. But yeah, those were some of these.
Slow down, Tony Hawk. Slow down.
Yeah, right. Some of these people have no reason to act like this other than the fact that they're just miserable and they look for anything they can to pick on somebody, period. So
it's really not working. Like, I don't understand the power struggle that I'm witnessing here. This is nuts.
I know. I never thought I would like
meet one in the wild.
Yeah, I know.
Actually encounter one.
I don't know how you can't like make a shake. Just give me a refund, please. Your service sucks. And I used to manage McDonald's, and I know what I'm talking about. Get some hustle in this place. It's insane. A mini shake. Just give me a refund. You know, you should have it. I'm sitting at the door. You should have the order. Right? Thank you. No, it's not fun. No, it's not. I'm literally like ready for my life, ready to pack my account. You. It's not funny. Here, I'm dealing with Senator Warner, okay? Get me the money. Literally, you guys suck.
I see him. So do they. You're such an idiot.
Hey, how are you? Get the hell away from my house and my job! Goddamn. This is what's killing people, is you. You're laughing, you stupid jerk. It's the assholes like you that should die. Yeah. Because you're not using your head. Yeah.
What am I doing
I'm
wrong?
walking next to you. You don't even care. You don't even look up. You don't even care. Look at this. Half an hour. Yeah. Walk down the goddamn street. I tell you. Get in the house. I train you all the time. Talking to this guy's a idiot.
Karen, tragically, can't read English. Wow.
Karen, no public dumping. Stop, Karen.
this woman's an idiot. She just walked into their TikTok they were doing, got filmed, didn't like it, and now she's taking a picture of somebody after complaining about being on film. What the
Every day, all day around here. That's
These
what you
people
get.
These people are so miserable within their own lives that they look for any reason they can to bitch and complain.
Yes. And then when the officer tells her it's not illegal, you're in a public place. Oh my goodness. You would think that hell had frozen over and the world's going to end right now.
I want your badge number. You're not a good police officer. You need to be fired. Bubba, I've heard all this. Happen.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody doesn't show your way. It's the wrong way. This is the year of we get offended and you violate my civil rights. To demonstrate sexual behavior on a bus or a train, I believe, is against the law. That goes for men, that goes for women, that goes for dogs. Dogs and cats are not even allowed on the subway. So see, what do you...
Now, this is one of these idiots that doesn't believe in same-sex relationships is all this is. This is how they throw their fit.
What is she talking about?
Because she says she was probably hugging up to her girlfriend on the subway or whatever the hell this is. And again, because some of these people are stupid about this and not willing to come into reality and modern day times.
Lord, she better call Saul.
Right. They don't like same-sex relationships. So they make a big deal about it because you're doing it in public. Oh, get over your fucking self. I hate people like this.
I mean, and I get it to a point. I don't want to see two people all over each other in public, whether it be straight, gay, or whatever. There's a reason why there's hotels out there if you want to do that.
Yeah, but hugging somebody or just cuddling with somebody sitting next to you, there's nothing wrong with it. If it was a man, it was a man and a woman, she wouldn't have said a fucking word, you guys.
Oh, absolutely. I 100% agree in this case. I'm just saying that there are people out there that take it to extremes.
Oh, yeah.
I'd mess with her. If I seen this happening, I'd mess with her. I'm not gay, but I would act gay that day, and I'd be like, hey, lady, can I have your number? You're awful pretty.
Yeah.
I'd mess with her. Because
Yeah,
people like this make me sick. Who makes her any better than anybody else? Come on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Basically, what you're doing is you're looking for approval from other people, which tells me, see, what you do is your business, but you don't have to flaunt it in my face any more than, say I like to blast music. Do you see me blasting music in your ear? It just calls me inconsiderate. In other words, if you want your rights...
I can ramble on, ma'am. You're just going over my head. I don't know if you're trying to teach me something.
No, what I'm saying to you, it pays to be considerate in this world. If you...
Okay, so if these two were sitting here making out, tongue in each other's faces and hands all over each other, okay, there's a different story. Male, female, whatever, I don't care what it is. I don't want to see that either. That's correct. That's not what this is. She just said she was snuggling with her. That's all they were doing, sitting there close together.
There's nothing wrong with that shit. This lady needs to grow the hell up. Maybe it's because she probably hasn't had the cobwebs dusted out of her own vajayjay in next to 30 years.
Probably right.
Lord have mercy.
Probably right. Probably
Her
right.
knuckle is itching right now, Freddie.
Mm-hmm. I can agree. I can definitely agree. She's insulted they didn't invite her to join in. There's another one, too. Wow, very possible. Very possible, Cap. Very possible.
choose to be this. I'm not against gay rights. I have friends and I work with people.
Oh, that's classic.
There we go.
There it is.
Like a creator that we know.
What did I tell you guys? I didn't even know that, and I told you that's what this was about. There it is. That's how you know what this is about, because they say that. And yes, you're right about that too, Arctic.
I have a question. If there were a straight couple that did the same thing, would you have a problem?
Yes, I would.
Okay,
I
right.
just got through with telling. No, so now see how you don't believe.
That's it for this week's video.
No, she wouldn't. I promise you she wouldn't. That is bullshit. That's exactly what her problem was, or she'd have never said what she said.
No, he cleared it.
No, I have to.
No, you definitely have to.
Clean shot.
Careful.
This is a real item.
Madison! Are you kidding me? Oh my God! She's had it 10 seconds.
It just came out when I did it.
Madison, you have to be careful.
So say your mark.
Oh, just get the stuff out.
Welcome, Mark and Betty. What the hell is this guy doing?
Are you okay? Oh my God. I'm about to die.
Very good.
All right. Oh shit.
That hurt.
Are you all right? Yeah. Oh.
He lied.
Thank you, rerun. Okay, rerun, Mom.
This is one of my favorite.
Oh, ow.
You know that, right? Almost. Pain.
Ow. That looked like that hurt bad. And bad. No way. No. That's a broken neck.
Ready? Set, go! That hurt my penis.
Oh, that hurt his finger.
That was great. At least he was honest.
Oh.
At least he was honest. That sounds like Preston. Something Preston would say. Being
Yeah.
super.
Oh yes. Oh
I
yes.
mean, thank you, Miss Zelda, for gifting that membership. Do you see who got that, Doodle?
No, I don't see it. I'm not on my phone, but I can look
Running
at it.
Bear. Running Bear got it.
Oh, okay.
Congratulations, Running Bear. Welcome to the sauce. Thank you again, Miss Zelda, for being here for 1 and 2 for gifting that membership. We appreciate you so very much, dear.
What's that? Oh my goodness. Look, Ben, it's a crab. Open. Look at the crab. Look, Ben, hold the crab. One more time, hold the crab.
These are funny with the animals.
Oh my God. What the heck? Oh my God.
Oops.
put the boy through.
That was a face plant.
I'll break it right there in the corner.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't going to turn out well.
Oh my God! Ow!
Hey Dylan, what book are we reading?
Star Wars.
Star Wars. And who did we just hear about? Who's that character? What's that character's name?
I don't know.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Obi Kenobi Gobi.
What's his name again?
Ogi Kenobi Gobi.
Go, Mom, go.
How do you just jump off like nothing happened after that? Hell no. I know women don't have certain things we do, but you still got nope.
Yeah, that's something that's always confused me too. Why it's the girl's bike that doesn't have the bar, and then the guy's bike has the nut crusher right there.
Exactly. That looked too painful. Exactly. Like she said, that still hurts. There's still bone and nope. God damn, that looked like that made my body hurt. Ouch.
Remember, it's always safety on the boat. Oh, God, Lord have mercy.
Now, he should have known that was a dumb move.
Yeah, I was waiting for that one. That was just dumb. Period.
Yeah! Oh.
No.
Hi, I'm Patty from customer service. How may I help you? Hi guys, today we're going to be showing you a magic trick.
Do that.
Oh, Ruthie.
Ooh.
On three. One.
Oh no.
This isn't gonna.
All right, I'm cleaning, and my youngest has noticed the warning label. So, Aiden, why don't you tell us what these warning labels mean?
This one is the fire.
Okay, so this could cause fire?
Yes.
Okay, what else?
The other one can cause an explosion.
Yeah, what else?
The other one can cause a pirate.
The other one can cause a pirate.
Be careful, guys. If you got WD-40, you could get a pirate. Just don't mess with that stuff, okay?
I can think of worse things than Johnny Depp showing up at my house.
I'm sure. If it's that pirate, it could be the other one. You never know.
Good job, Ruby. Good job, Ruby. Oh, good one. Wow.
I'll never understand this. Kitty's making out with the carrots. What the hell is this dog doing?
She just won't stop. Isn't it?
No.
And bracing.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's just water, bud. Look, guys, Arctic is in one of these. See him, Becker? Oh, What happened?
No.
Mess around, find out.
She's very
Happy birthday, dear Grandpa. Happy birthday to you.
It kind of tastes like apple cider, the stuff we drink.
It's not that bad.
Oh! Are you okay? Oh.
If you pooped at me, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh. Oh my god!
Bye bye. Look at me go. Look out! I tried to walk. Oh, no!
Is that your Moana? Your Moana outfit? Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm so drunk, bro. But oh, I just hit myself in the throat. Oh. Anyways, look who caught that thing, bro. Look who caught it.
Go.
This is gonna end badly.
Ow.
Stranger! Yeah, buddy. Yeah! Oh! Oh!
Where you going? Okay.
That is too cute.
What?
Joey, run! Run!
Oops.
Where's Betsy hiding? I wonder. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
There's Molly getting a ride.
Move, Haley.
And she does not get out.
Not my cats. If I turn a vacuum on, they're gone.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens here, too. Absolutely. There is no way. You can't even come near my dogs with the dog clippers, let alone a damn Dremel tool. They'd be like gone. No way in hell. Yeah,
I don't know. My groomer uses that type of Dremel thing on my dogs, but I don't know how she does it because I can't even get near their paws.
Right. I think you'd have to drug one of my dogs to do that. There's no way. Like if you turn on anything that makes noise, they're gone. The vacuum cleaner, the littlest, the fuzzball one, he tries to attack the vacuum. Milo is gone. Anything that makes any noise or door slam, anything, he's gone. He's so timid, it's crazy. But this, I don't get it. This dog looks like hell yeah, this is the life, and I don't get it. Yeah, that was Molly with her Uber, exactly, SRB.
Like, go, Luke, go!
Yo.
These ones are so cute.
She's gonna do her. Yes, Daddy. What are you gonna do? You gotta go face. Are you okay? Yes, are you?
Oh, no.
Damn it, Molly. Too much catnip.
I was gonna say it, but you did.
Foot green. Way to play Twister. Right hand yellow. Oh, good girl.
Oh, mommy.
Supposedly Cash is peeling the corn for her.
Go, Justin. Hey. Go, Kenzie, go.
Hey, what are you doing?
Just keep pedaling, Mackenzie. Just keep pedaling, kid. Go, Justin. She's going to win. Oh, my God. Win.
Ow.
Kenzie wins.
Dude, that's you.
Yeah. How? Oh no.
I knew that wasn't gonna end good.
There you go,
And they're done that.
Just push it over.
Damn, Winnie was too big for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do.
Yeah, same here.
Colton, what are you trying to steal from school today? Can you show me what's in your pants? What's in there?
Oh, God.
What?
What happened?
Oh no. Yes, you do.
Where's the chocolate supposed to go?
Wash.
She's a damn mess. Why would you give her that?
Is the chocolate on your face? What'd you do with the chocolate? Is it on your face?
You think?
No.
Exactly, Alicia.
Have none of Sydney's food. You can't have none of TT food, boo. Booby.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
I'm literally gonna start.
I'll tell you what, that thing that you do, that spinning around thing, the arm strength that people have to be able to do that kind of shit has got to be immense. I can't think of what that thing's called, but gymnasts do it where they'll spin around on that thing. I don't know what it's
Pommel
called.
horse.
What is it?
Pommel horse.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, I knew it was some kind of horse something, but to be able to do that, you got to have some serious hand strength, guys. I can imagine. That's crazy.
You got to get a job one day. No. Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you want for breakfast? Cheese? Toast?
Yeah.
Yep. Kaylee got into a Sharpie. Got flawless eyebrows now, huh?
I like that.
Eyebrows, yeah.
Let Frankie out.
No, it's hurt.
Why can't you? Just take the lid off. Just take the lid off.
No, I can't. I can't.
Why can't you? Yes, you can.
I can't.
He can't. He can't do it. He can't. I love that.
Can't.
Hold the thing. Hold it.
Didn't take it. Ah! I just gonna...
Don't step on him.
Cooper, come here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, Mama.
You driving?
Oh my god!
That was kind of hard.
Not for Sissy. I love you.
Did that hurt?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Christmas tree time. Wait a minute. She's not going to do that again, is she? Let's see.
Bonnie.
Shameless dog.
She said so wisely. Keep going.
Looks like Kimber's dog. Take care, Matahari. Thank you for joining us, hon.
He's gonna get stung. They're like really mad.
Here comes Miss America. Come on, don't break a hip like me.
And that'll do it for today, everybody.
You know, Dago, your expressions are hilarious. Your eyes get real big. You're like, oh no, oh wait.
I mean, I know the ones with the kids like running into walls and stuff. It's like, no, stop.
I know.
You know, but yeah, I am very animated. I know, I always have been. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us today. I hope you guys had a great day. We went a little over where I wanted, but that's okay. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Hopefully, I will see you guys here shortly. Yeah, we got a little bit of time, but a little bit later here, and it is paranormal night. I forgot it was Friday again, so we will be covering some paranormal stuff. I don't know. I forgot to show you guys this yesterday, by the way. I wish Cassie was still in here, or SRB, because I know that they don't like this kind of stuff. So it would be
in here.
Is she?
Oh, hold yourself back, Molly.
This ain't the Scream one, but this is another one I found last night that we had.
It's still scary enough. It looks like Ghostface and a little bit of like the Nun.
Yeah. I'm gonna do some modifications to this one, and she said, "Damn it, Dago." Make that one look a little bit more realistic. But yeah, I told you guys I collect them. I have so many of them. It's not even funny. Anyway, we'll be jumping into that tonight. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It'll be a surprise. Who knows? Maybe I'll do my whole stream with this on. It is pretty creepy. I didn't realize it does kind of have that nun look to it too.
Yeah, the eyes. Because I was the nun a couple years ago. I picked a present up from school, and I was all dressed up, and I turned. He didn't even notice. And then when we got home, he finally noticed, and I turned around and looked at him. He's like, "Nope, Mama, nope, get out."
That's great. I love it. That is great. So yeah, we'll be hitting that paranormal thing tonight to make up for last night, I guess. And again, everybody, thank you for joining me. Arctic, always a pleasure to have you here, my friend. Doodle, always the same. I appreciate you. Everybody in chat, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Be kind to each other, as Mr. Arctic always says. And don't change a thing about yourself, because you guys are absolutely amazing. I appreciate you all so very much, and I will see you all very soon. Bye-bye, folks.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Life's a journey. Let's make every moment shine. Together we share our hearts so intertwined. Each time you tune in, we're dancing in sync. With every story told, just let your soul think. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. Kick back, take a breath, leave your worries behind. This podcast is magic, a treasure you'll find. With every moment shared, we light up the way. Join us next time for more laughs and play. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day. In this podcast family, worries drift away. A little laughter, some love, we're flying high. As we wrap up this episode, it's not goodbye. News on the airwaves, spreading joy and cheer. Thanks for being with us, we'll see you right here. So gather round friends, it's time to reflect. In this joyful moment, what's next to connect? Let's cherish the laughter, the joy that we spread. Together we'll thrive until our hearts are fed. See you next time with stories anew. Can't wait to share more with all of you. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day. In this podcast family, worries drift away. So hit that subscribe, keep the vibe alive. We're riding this wave and it's set to thrive. With smiles all around, let's seize the day. In this podcast family, worries drift away. So gather round friends, it's time to reflect. In this joyful moment, what's next to connect? Let's cherish the laughter, the joy that we spread. Together we'll thrive until our hearts are fed. See you next time with stories anew. Can't wait to share more with all of you. See you next time with stories anew. Can't wait to share more.